And I just realized I was muted that entire time. So welcome to Sorgy Stories, folks. Anthony here with you. Will, thank you for the heads up there. I appreciate you letting me know. Welcome to another edition of Sorgy Stories, the first in a while. It's probably why my mic was muted. It's because I haven't been doing this for a while. Little bit rusty. Cody announced. Will, congrats on the win over the Birds yesterday. Huge win for the Commanders. But I was saying, Toyota-thon Jordan Love faces off against backup quarterback Spencer Rattler this evening. Not a chilly, but not too chilly night for Green Bay. Current temperature is 32 with a feels like of 31 degrees. It will drop by 10 p.m. local, 11 p.m. Eastern time to 24 as the feels like. We see on the screen Matt LaFleur, phenomenal coach. He has the second highest winning percentage of any Packers head coach ever, only behind the great Vince Lombardi, looking to add another win to his resume tonight. The inactives for this evening. For the Saints, it is MVS, a guy that Packers fans know very, very well. Alvin Kamara, and then the defensive tackles, Nathan Shepard and Christian Wood. For the Packers, it's Quay Walker, Malik Heath, Javon Bullard, Jair Alexander, Evan Williams, and Jacob Monk. Packed house at Lambeau as always. 8-mile-per-hour winds, a 15% chance of precipitation this evening. The Packers in their greens, New Orleans in the whites. A very classic uniform matchup between these two squads as we get ready for kickoff. And joining us for the first quarter, it's a Bears fan. I know we don't really love the Bears here, but we got to be nice to Bears fans. Reichley from the Football Expert here with me now as we kick off. That one heads to the end zone. It will be returned by the Pack. There we go to the 33-ish. The return there by Keyshawn Nixon. Reichley, how we doing?
Doing well, keeping busy. So the Bears are doing their thing at the bottom of the North, as it seems to be the past couple of seasons. Did get rid of Matt Eberflus, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm just at this point. Look, we're looking to the draft, unfortunately, but yep, we're looking to the draft once again.
Yeah. As here we go, 1st and 10 for Green Bay at the 37-yard line. Jordan Love in the shotgun, the fan favorite Tucker Kraft in motion there, and it's going to be a fake run to Jaden Reed, who's going to get on the board, and Will's going to be happy about that start for the Packers as he needs Jaden Reed to outscore Juwan Johnson. Cody Johnson in the chat saying SMU and Indiana. Yeah, well, I'm going to put it this way. Look at what Ohio State did to Tennessee. Just very, very simply. Look at what Ohio State did to Tennessee. Tennessee, a better team than Alabama, considering they beat them. Sure, it could have been competitive, but it's about the 12 most deserving team. That's who made the playoff, and it's that simple. A 9-3 team shouldn't be in there. That's going to be a run to Jacobs. He tries to spin out. He loses a yard though. Of that Cam Jordan on the stop. But Reichley, would you agree with me in saying that just very simply SMU and Indiana should have been in the playoff and Alabama shouldn't have made it?
Yeah, I do agree. I think at some point the regular season has to matter. If it was 10-2 teams, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But when there's a 2-win difference, 2-loss difference, you can't make that big of a jump. There has to be some sort of criteria for actually winning your games, and it's not like the Alabama was this dominant team all season and they just had a hiccup or something like that. It's not even like a Notre Dame situation. We're talking about a team that has struggled and scored 3 points against a bad Oklahoma team.
I was going to say, if you can only score 3 points against a bad Oklahoma team, you can't tell me that you're going to go into Penn State and win.
Yeah, 100%. Do I think it could have been closer? Do I think Alabama could have won? Yeah. But at the
Yeah.
same time, you got to win the games that are in front of you. It's not like Alabama, and I find it hilarious, especially as a Notre Dame and an independent person, that their non-conference schedule is pathetic. You're playing Mercer and all these other. It's not like you're playing anybody in the non-conference. So, don't get me wrong. Is the SEC a decent conference? But it's very possible that if Georgia gets knocked out, that the SEC barely gets a team into the semifinals.
Yeah, for sure. Is after a Josh Jacobs first down, they're going to hand it right off to Josh Jacobs again. He will get 7-ish yards there. Huge run for a guy who's really been a standout for the Packers, replacing Aaron Jones. He has proven to be phenomenal. This season, he leads the NFL in first quarter rushing yards, 430. That stat via ESPN. Probably Elias, if I were to bet. But yeah, 12:20 to go. But yeah, I think when it comes to Bama, it's like also you can't tell me Bama compared to SMU. Like Bama fans should remember that Jalen Milroe at Bama, as Jordan Love throws a little screen pass there to Josh Jacobs for a first down and a lot more, all the way inside the 42, the 37. Jalen Milroe at Oklahoma, just a quick reminder, did exactly what SMU's quarterback did. Kevin Jennings, if I'm correct, which is throw no touchdowns.
Yeah.
No touchdowns. And that's against Oklahoma, not Penn State. And obviously, Boise State's a much better team than Oklahoma, I would say, as well. So it's hard to argue. I mean, I'm trying, like, Alabama, yeah, sure, they beat Georgia, but, like, those bad losses. I mean, it's the same for Ole Miss. Ole Miss had a terrible loss at home against Kentucky, as that's going to be play action for Love. He's going to throw, has a man. It's Tucker Kraft for a first down, almost to the red zone at the 21-yard line. Packers driving with 11-12 to go. But, like, and for South Carolina, they got murdered by Ole Miss in Columbia, and I'm trying to think about their other losses. Sure, they had some good wins. All three of those teams had good wins, but at the end of the day, SMU had the resume, and it's that simple.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think the only team that had a fair argument, in my opinion, was South Carolina, because South Carolina at least did not have bad losses.
Yeah,
You had a tough loss to Ole Miss at home by 24, and I will say that's pretty bad. But you at least have an argument that you had a really injured Lenora Sellers, and you had no Raheem Sanders, and you had multiple defenders out. Outside of that, you had a game in which LSU you should have won if the refs did not intervene. You had a game in Bama where you lost by 2 on the road. Like, I at least could understand a South Carolina path, because you did at least have some decent. You had a win over Texas A&M by a lot, but you don't have as many of the bad losses as you do with the other teams.
Huge run for Josh Jacobs to the 2, and now first and goal. He gets all the way down to about the half-yard line. As I said, huge run there from the Packers back to put them almost into the end zone.
Yeah, a good stiff arm there to, at the end of the run, be able to get a couple extra yards to finish it out.
For sure. So here we go. Second and goal. Jordan Love in the huddle. They break the huddle now. You're going to see Jaden Reed go to the left alongside Romeo Dobbs. Jacobs in the backfield. Dontavian Wicks in motion. It would seem to indicate a run, or maybe not. No, they're going to go with a little bit of a shovel pass there to Wicks, and that's going to be a loss. I don't like that play call. If you're going to put Jacobs in motion the way they did, I think I'm pitching it out to him and having him run it with good blocking. But just a fail play there is the Saints defensive line just ate up that Packers front five there. And now third and goal, a crucial play for this early in this game. 8:50 to go here in the first quarter. Love in the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers to his right. Looks to throw, under pressure, throws end zone. Dontavian Wicks, touchdown Packers. They're up 6-0 with 8:41 to go in this one.
Good start here for the Packers.
That's what they need. You gotta. I mean, it's something I say for those of you who have listened to my broadcast on WSJP for St. Joe's Prep football this year. I always say you got to set the tone early. That's how you win football games, and that's what the Packers do here. Now on to kick will be Brandon McManus for the PAT. It is up. It is right down the middle. Green Bay leads 7-0 with 8:41 to go. And now, Reichley, this is where I think it gets interesting, right? We're talking about a very, very interesting drive for the Saints to start off. Spencer Rattler, the starting quarterback. I think Xavier McKinney and this Packers secondary are going to eat Rattler alive tonight.
It will be very interesting to see, as Rattler in college was a Southern guy, so it will also be interesting to see him playing this far north.
For sure, and I mean, Rattler talked about it this week. Him and his fellow quarterbacks sitting in a 10-degree freezer throughout the week. I mean, that's what you have to do in some cases to prepare for Green Bay. And I mean, I've stood outside multiple times for the Preps playoff games in the weather down on the field. It's cold. It is really cold on nights like tonight in Green Bay, and yeah, it's should be interesting to see here what goes on this first drive. But back to the college football playoff discussion. I know we talked about this off camera earlier, but I mean, I will say actually before I get to that, one point I want to make about this this team or your argument about South Carolina is that there's no way you can justify South Carolina in the playoff considering they lost to the other two teams that were being discussed. You got to give head to head when it's the same record at some point. And
yeah,
it's just there's no real there's no real precedent for them to be in. And also for Alabama, I don't remember. I know Ole Miss plays Duke. I think they'll win that one. And do you remember who South Carolina is playing? Because I don't.
South Carolina is playing Illinois in the what bowl game is it? The Gator Bowl, I think, and then
Okay, yeah, that would
Alabama
make
is
sense.
playing Michigan.
Alabama, Michigan. Yeah, so for South Carolina, I'm probably picking them to win. But for Bama, I don't know if I'm picking them to beat Michigan. Michigan's a really, really good football team, as they proved against Ohio State. When they're the more physical team, they win, and this is not a Nick Saban coach team anymore.
It is, but the only problem is that Michigan has quite a few opt-outs, and Alabama still has Jalen Monroe. So I do think I think at Alabama has a lot more to lose in this game. Michigan, I don't think really cares about it that much.
Yeah, that is true. For Michigan, their Super Bowl was at Ohio Stadium. They won that Super Bowl, and we saw what happened after that game. As the Saints are going to return it to the 20, to the 30, looking for a big return after the 35. So 65 yards will be needed for New Orleans on this drive. 8:36 to go in the quarter. And, man, that injury report. Derek Carr, Alvin Kamara, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Rashid Shaheed, Chris Olave, Taysom Hill. That's just rough, Reichley. That's just
Who
really,
are they? Who
really
is playing for the Saints?
Yeah, I know. I'm going to have to pull out a roster for them so I know who I'm talking about. As here we go. Spencer Rattler, the shotgun, 5 wide here. A man goes in motion left to right. Rattler looking, scrambling. He's just going to run. Gets a decent amount of yardage. Goes head first there into the defender. Sets up about a 2nd and 4. And yeah, go Pack, go. Great drive. Will says it perfectly. Too easy for the Pack. And ELS prediction 45-10. I'll go with 34-10. That's what I'll go with. I think it's going to be domination tonight. What do you think, Reichley?
I will go 13-31. I don't think it's as much of a blowout. I just don't think
31-13.
Green Bay
I like it.
scores.
I like it.
I just don't think Green Bay scores that many points. Not because they can't, but because I just don't think they will.
That's fair. Yeah, I get that. As we see the Packers defense, yes, there's no Jair Alexander. Yes, no Javon Buller. Yes, no Quay Walker. But how about Edgerrin Cooper, man? He's a beast, as are so many other guys. As Rattler's going to throw to his tight end to the 50, first down in Packers territory. The Saints are driving early here. Is, by the way, credit to the Saints for wearing what I think are the throwbacks with the gold, white look. It's extremely clean. I like when teams match their jersey and pant colors. I think it just looks a lot better. Just me, but that's just how I prefer uniforms generally. It's 1st and 10 now for New Orleans at the 43. It's going to be a nice little run for one, if that, maybe. I don't know if they got anything off of that. So 6:47 to go, clock running. It is 2nd and 10. Excuse me. 2nd and 10 here in this one. Yeah, I think they're wearing the color rushes as well. And Cody talking about the winter warning jerseys. We're the Green Bay Packers. We wear, like, we shouldn't have. They're clean, sure. I mean, yeah, they look good, but like they're winter. The Green Bay Packers wear on Sundays should always wear gold, white, gold, green, gold. Those should be the only 2 uniform combos they wear. Maybe I guess if you wanted to do like a blue throwback, I'd be fine with that. Or if they wanted to wear a gold jersey, but overall, you wear green, you wear gold. And that's just that. As we see here, 3rd and 7 at the 40. Ooh, excuse me. Saints looking for a first down here under pressure. Rattler throws incomplete. That will set up 4th down at the 40. I don't think they're in field goal range. So I guess it's going to be a punt here.
Yeah, either
or are they going to go for this?
Maybe go. Yeah, I was about to say maybe
They're
go
not,
for it.
Yeah, I see the argument, but they're going to take the sidelines. The offense will, and that was just a little bit of an overthrow. I wouldn't say that really goes one way or the other on the fault. It was a little bit of both. They're going to actually go for this. Yeah, so 4th and 7 out of the shotgun, 4 wide. And a false start is going to send them back to the 45-yard line. Unless it's on Green Bay, which I don't think it is. It is a cha-cha on New Orleans against number 62 there, Lucas Patrick. So not the not what you want there on 4th down if you are the Saints.
Yeah, you kind of were rushing there with like 2 seconds on with almost no time on the game clock.
Yeah, and Lucas Patrick, by the way, former Packer, former Bear. 4th and 12 now. New Orleans will punt. That one is going to go deep. Fair catch called at the 8 by Jaden Reed. So Packers looking for a 92-yard drive here on this one as Jordan Love takes the field. The flag is on the play. Against Green Bay, that's going to knock them all the way back.
To the 4, right?
I think so, yeah. So 5:38 to go here. Not what you want as you see a snowy, in some ways, Vince Lombardi outside of the Lambeau Field atrium, which everyone, if you've been to Green Bay, you know where the atrium is a integral part, 365 days, or almost that, open a year at Lambeau Field, a huge part of the complex there. in Titletown, which is absolutely awesome. I haven't been there in a few years, but I mean, even before everything was finished, it was just awesome to see. So huge credit to what the Packers have done with the place. Between straddling that Green Bay Ashwaubenon border there. And yeah, Cody's saying, what is your favorite Packers uniform? It's the one I'm wearing now. I mean, Reichley, can you answer with another one? Because I think the best answer is green. I know you're a Bears fan, but
Yeah,
I
I was about
mean,
to say
I think the only goal.
I don't know if you want a Bears fan answering this question.
In your opinion, what is the best Packers uniform?
Honestly, I haven't paid attention to them enough to probably say.
You only really got three choices. You got the all whites, the classic whites, and these.
Yeah, I don't know. Um, let me look them up. Let's see. Let me look them up. 1 second.
I'm guessing you're gonna pull out some '30s uniform. That's absolute garbage. um, but
Oh, the throwbacks. I do
but
hate the
yeah,
throwbacks. I will say that for you guys. I just don't like their look. And that's not
I
even
feel
me
like
being.
the throwbacks would look good if it was like
If it was what?
yeah, if it were gold uniforms. I said if it was gold uniforms with blue jersey and blue pants, I feel like it'd look good. Are you talking about the current throwbacks or the blue ones?
The blue ones.
Because I do like the current throwbacks. Okay, yeah, the current throwbacks we have, the greens, they're okay. They're not my favorite, but overall they look okay.
Yeah, I would
Gonna
probably.
try to. There we go. We should be good now.
I'd probably say the white ones are probably nicer. The white jerseys. I don't know. I'm not a big fan. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of the color scheme generally. And
That's fair.
not just being a Bears fan, just I'm not the biggest
Yeah,
fan of.
I get that.
So, yeah. What's your favorite
Yeah,
Bears jersey then?
love those. I probably go with those orange ones were really ugly, so we're gonna go with those.
The color
But no,
rush
on a
ones?
serious note, I mean the blues and whites are both classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the blues and whites are just absolute classics. So I got to go with those.
Oh yeah. Also,
Josh Jacobs runs there.
how did on that first down play the defensive tackle catch up to Jordan Love more than the defensive edge rusher?
Oh, defensive schemes are a fascinating thing. I'll put it that way. At the 8-yard line, 3rd and 6 here for Love and the Pack. In the shotgun, he's got one receiver to his left, 3 to his right, a man in the backfield. And I think that's a false start on Green Bay. Not where you want to be. Although, let's see. Maybe it's against New Orleans. Okay, so there you go. Tano Capasigon. I don't know how to say that, but he jumped. I need to make sure I get the pronunciation right because that is a long, long last name. So 3rd and 1 now for Green Bay. Third and 1 at the 13. Yeah, 13. 4:36 to go here in the first. Love has Kraft in motion. They're going to snap it to Kraft, and he will get the first down or no. Let's see. The spot seems to be giving a first down. And yeah, the chains are going to move. Tucker, Kraft, mac and cheese there on the snap for the first down. That's a good play design, Reichley.
Yeah.
So 4 minutes to go here. Ball spotted at the 14.5-ish. Play clock running down. Love gets it off. Love all the way back to his 3-yard line. He's going to get Josh Jacobs. Makes a man miss with the stiff arm. First down, Packers. There you go. That's how you do it, is just throw it to your running back in space, have him stiff arm a guy, get that first down. Beautiful play design. Great blocking by the offensive line, and a great play by Jacobs. Ooh, excuse me. All phases of that play. Great for the Pack. 1st and 10 now at the 28. Love under center. Has a man in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Josh Jacobs. He'll get about 3-4 yards. Nothing too much. Nothing too bad, though, for Green Bay.
I'm not sure what happened here. I don't know if we lost Anthony there for a second. Seems like we may have lost Anthony. As we watched the previous play, we saw that run play there from Josh Jacobs getting a few yards on that first down play. And we'll wait and see if Anthony's able to return. The 2nd and 7 for the Packers, looking to extend their first quarter lead. Have had a good first quarter so far with the defensive
Okay,
stop.
folks, we're back here. Sorry to cut you off there, Ickley, but I don't know what happened on my end, but crashed out. So we're good, though, as that's going to be a play across the middle. Romeo Dobbs out to the 45. A little bit of extracurricular activity following the play. But Packers have the ball at approximately midfield, just 5 yards short of being into Saints territory. As in the 76ers Spurs game going on, apparently Joel Embiid has been ejected. So that's interesting, to say the least.
Rare ejection in the or in the NBA. Don't see many of those.
It's Joel Embiid, though, so it doesn't shock me. I'm not the biggest Joel Embiid guy.
Yeah.
Fake there, Love scrambling, looking for someone, just puts his hands up, throws it away. No intentional grounding. It was close enough to a receiver to not be 2nd and 10, as Love just did not have an option there when the pocket collapsed. And people are talking about, so much about Saquon Barkley, but I got to give Josh Jacobs credit. 1,100 yards. By the end of the year, he'll probably reach 1,200. I mean, obviously Saquon's, the better back, numbers-wise, but I give Josh Jacobs a lot of credit. His Love under pressure, gets it out to Jacobs like he was about to be sacked. Jacobs fights for 8 yards. How about that? Josh Jacobs and Jordan Love making something out of nothing and almost gaining the first down. There we go. We should be good on our setup here now. So I apologize for our technical difficulties. But I think we're about to be good. And yeah, bloopers. Very much bloopers on my end. My computer just seems to be working extremely slowly as a whole. Let's just flip that over. There we go. Now we're working. Timeout Green Bay with 44 seconds to go in the quarter. 3rd and 2. Josh Jacobs on the sidelines, just catching his breath. Appreciate you all bearing with our technical difficulties here. I think we will take a quick break, though. On the other side, the last 44 seconds of the quarter. And then we will be right back with you. We are back here on Sorgy Stories, here with Reichley from the Football Expert. 44 seconds to go in the quarter here, so I will, Reichley, I will let you, before we get back to action in Green Bay, just quickly go through where people can find all of your stuff.
You can find all the stuff just looking up on YouTube, the Football Expert. Just typing that in the search bar. We'll find it anywhere over the internet. Looking that up. So, yeah, that's the easiest way of finding me on the YouTube platform and stuff like that.
The 3rd and 2, the Packers fall just short, and make sure to check out all of Reichley's stuff on the Football Expert. 4th and 1, I think you go for this here. 4-down territory. It feels like you should go for this with 25 seconds to go in the quarter. And it looks like the offense is going to stick out there. So here we go. Love in the shotgun. A lot of guys in motion. See something. Calls an audible there, and we'll see what happens. And that will end the first quarter. So Packers will not take a snap. And that will end our first quarter. Reichley, thank you for joining us for the first quarter of this one. And yeah, we will see you soon enough as the next round of the college football playoff approaches.
Yeah, definitely. Well, congrats the Packers on a pretty good season, and win this game. Do you clinch a playoff berth, or do you still have another one?
Yes, they do.
Okay. Well, good luck in the rest of this one, and maybe you'll clinch a playoff berth.
Hopefully that is it. Thank you again to Reichley from the Football Expert for joining us. Yeah, so here on the break, as I just quickly change something quickly. Our next guest is a 2-decade Packers Radio Network veteran. He also happens to be my dad. And he joins us here in the studio.
Slide over?
Yep.
All right. Got to adjust the couches. Make sure we're all functional.
Yep. So I gotta change our title here.
So, and By the way, yes, genuinely feel bad for the Chicago Bears, rightly, for an organization, really for a fan base that is insanely devoted and has suffered even longer than my Green Bay Packers did back for 29 years between championships.
Yeah.
So you don't just need a house cleaning. You need
a lot more.
nuclear blow up,
Yep.
a ground remediation, and a complete reconstruction of your football operations if you want to win.
Yeah.
It is unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's sad for Chicago.
For their fans, not
Right.
for them, but for their. Because I don't care about. I mean, the McCaskies can be sad all they want. They have money.
They have a ridiculous amount of money, and they don't know how to run a football team.
Yeah.
In the meantime, the Green Bay Packers are 3 quarters in the playoffs.
3/4 from dancing again, and yeah, you're not wrong, Will. They have not won a game. And Caleb Williams could be a guy or could be the guy in, say, like probably 29 other franchise, 28 maybe. There's some teams that just suck, like Carolina.
Yeah.
But like Caleb Williams could be like that guy for like almost anywhere.
Okay, who is Russell Yerk?
He's a doctor, I think.
Okay.
He's like
The ESPN NFL doctor, like medical expert.
I guess.
All
Let's
right.
look them up.
They're going to attempt 4th and 1 again. Up. Easy first down, gained about 1.5 yards. As he didn't even.
Sorry, he's the rules analyst, not a doctor.
Okay. As they didn't even need to do the full tush push. As we're watching Joe Buck bowl.
Can you get much more Wisconsin than that?
Nothing
Awesome. Nothing else really to do in Green Bay when it's this cold.
Except to eat fried cheese curds and drink beer.
Yeah. As Hodag, welcome in. You're not wrong there. First and 10 for the pack here in Saints territory. Oh, I like the run there to the outside. Can they get much? Oh, way to fight for yards, Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, 3 yards. 3 yards, but there wasn't much blocking there.
Yeah. So
it was not as effective as it could have been.
14:03 to go here in the quarter.
Bring us closer in.
Yep. Packers 10-4, Saints 5-9. What do you think about these Saints unis?
Oh, I love their throwbacks.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, I like the color rush look.
I love the throwback. I mean, I sometimes tend to be helmet pants being the same if you're wearing white, but this I actually like.
Yeah. Usually I like the Saints kind of idea is
play action.
Yeah, play action there. Love's gonna just throw it away.
Yeah. Saints are all over it. They know what's coming.
But usually I prefer the Saints kind of white matching look, but the Green Bay Packers on the road should wear gold, white, gold. That's Green Bay Packers.
Yes, agreed.
As cool as the winter warning uniforms look, which if they were to wear them during a game, I would probably say this one of any, because it's a cold December night in Green Bay.
Though Chicago is coming in for the season finale, so if it snows,
maybe
I'll drop back action.
There you go.
8 yard, or really more like a 4 yard gain, 4th down.
4th down.
4 down territory here.
Yeah. Josh Jacobs coming back out on the field. I think it's 4 down territory. But what was I going to say? By the way, for Packers fans, excuse me, out there, the game against the Vikings has been moved to 4:25 Eastern, 3:25 Central.
Not a shock.
Was that supposed to be Sunday night?
No.
Oh, what was it supposed to be?
It was noon.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Oh, easy.
Big first down.
Kraft. And Kraft rumbles to the 13.
There you go. So yeah, I like the 4:25 Packers Vikings setup.
I also love watching tight ends flying through the air after getting hit. Oh my gosh, he had Watson wide open. I get throwing to Kraft and the play worked great, but Watson was wide open with nobody within a zip code of him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a bad mistake. I mean, we'll see if that turns into a 7-point or 4-point mistake here.
Here we go. 1st and 10 for the Pack at the 14. Josh Jacobs. There you go.
Josh Jacobs, first down at the 1.5. Maybe the 2, but that's beautiful.
Big run.
That's beautiful. And when you can play physical like this, it works so well in the cold and bad weather of January.
Packers going to hurry up.
And yeah. I hope you have Josh Jacobs on your fantasy team because you are scoring big.
Fantasy playoffs for a lot of people, and they're going to need a Josh Jacobs big night. That's what they're getting so far. 6 straight games with a rushing TD. That is a career-long streak. Dude's just a beast.
Great pickup. I loved Aaron Jones when he was here.
Yeah.
But Jacobs is more productive and younger.
For sure. Brandon McManus will be on to kick here for the green and gold. It's up, and it's good.
He's picked.
As we update this evening's score here.
As you do that, I should let you know, too, interesting listening as we live here in Philadelphia, listening to Philly sports talk. And the amount of people that are saying they would rather play Washington in a first-round game, but there are very good odds it's going to be Packers-Eagles in the 7-2 game.
Think so?
Because if...
How are the Packers only 7 seed?
Minnesota beating Green Bay would drop them to the 7. Washington would own the tiebreaker. If both teams are 12-5.
Oh, because they beat the Eagles and we didn't? Or just common opponents overall?
Either NFC or common opponents. So it would depend.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Right now we're above, yeah.
But I went through the playoff simulator on ESPN.
Okay.
The playoff positioning simulator, whatever it's called, and went through all the remaining NFL games.
Uh-huh.
And if the games are as Chuck would say,
yeah.
With Minnesota beating Green Bay next week, it would bump the Packers down to the 7.
And Packers-Eagles, honestly, I might pick the Packers. The way they're playing.
The Packers have not had a complete 60-minute game of excellence. And when I mean that, I mean, there are some times where in a game like that, you'll just be out physical, out skilled on a particular play.
Yeah.
But you don't make mental mistakes. You don't make bad penalties. You don't turn the ball over. You play heads up, aware, solid, fundamental football.
Yeah.
The Packers, for 60 minutes in a game, have not done that this year.
That's fair. Have the Eagles?
I would say probably a couple times, at least.
Okay.
They didn't against Washington Sunday, but I think the Eagles are more prone to be able to do that. And unless the Packers do that, they ain't beating Philly in Philly.
It's a 3-point game. It's a very, very close game. And yeah, I don't think the Saints do want to be at Lambeau. Would love nothing more than to beat the Eagles again, but yeah, the Rams at SoFi is much easier than the Link.
Yeah.
To say the least. Although the Commanders do have a history of going into the Link and getting wins when for folks that remember, on Monday Night Football when they ended the Eagles' perfect season.
Yep.
A couple of years back.
Or as Hugh Douglas calls them, the Commodores. I love that.
I mean, short is just commies.
I know, but I'm not going to call them that.
Yeah, I know.
You call them Commodores, you think of Lionel Richie in the late 70s, early 80s. I'm not going to sing, so don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Coach's magic.
Yes, happy holidays. And love that game. Yeah, that was a thriller. It sucked to be the Eagles, but the Commanders had a good night there. Is 1st and 10 for New Orleans. And I'm going to go grab some hot chocolate. So
Spencer
Have
Rattler, number 18 in the Archie Manning design uniform. And, Cooper with a
Cooper, best player on the defense.
vociferous TFL, loud TFL, coming from the outside linebacker spot on the strong side. Just hog-tying him right in the left leg. Second 13. Yeah, this Packers defense has to grow. They've been missing Jair Alexander. They've got to do more. Up. Little yellow hanky action here. Call on number 75. False start. Yeah, push him back a few yards. That's fine. That's fine. Edgerrin Cooper. Dude has began to really step up his game this year for Green Bay. He's a rookie. He ain't playing like a rookie. Absolutely not playing like a rookie. Second and 18. This is dominance. This is dominance. Back of the third line. 4-man rush. And Rattler scrounge for a couple. Nothing too noteworthy. Cuts it to 3rd and 16, which is still not fun. If you're a Saints fan, I have no complaints about it, obviously. Brian Gutekunst's wearing glasses that have the strap in the back. I wonder why he does that. It seems like if you wear the strap in the back with your glasses, it makes you age about 10 years in your look. I don't think of Goody as that old of a guy. 3rd and 16. Easy catch, but he is stuffed at the 30-yard line, stuffed about a good 10 yards short of the first down line. Eric Stokes with the tackle, snagging high five after high five. He's drinking what looks to be, Gutekunst looks to be drinking a Diet Coke, it looks like. There's the punt. Is delivered to about the 33-yard line where Jaden Reed just says, yeah, I'm not going to deal with getting tackled and getting smushed there. Oh, I love this view of Titletown with the sledding hill. Where else in the National Football League you going to get a sledding hill? I mean, it's just perfect. Just a perfect winter ambiance. The perfect winter ambiance. You're not going to find that in any other National Football League setup. If you go back on our archives from our vlogs, we actually took an evening right outside Titletown or within Titletown and grabbed some cheese curds, checked out all the football field, the fan football field, the sledding hill, all that stuff. Just a blast. Yes, Happy Hodag, the unofficial snow globe of the National Football League. I mean, it is pilgrimage type stuff to go see your team, especially if you're a Packers fan, but go see your team, period, at the shrine of the National Football League. And it's even more fun if you do it when it's cold. I mean, there was a Dolphins fan who went Thanksgiving night to go see the Packers play the Dolphins at Lambeau Field and absolutely loved how well she was treated. Hated the cold, but loved how she was treated. It's like for every degree the temperature drops, the friendliness rises, even to a visiting team fan. Unless you're a Vikings fan or Bears fan. But yeah, that's beside the point. We sort of know that's what's going to happen. So typically Will, the GM of the Packers is a decision by ownership because the ownership structure is owner, head coach, GM, and like director of football operations. It seems weird that they're on the same line, but that's how Mark Murphy structured it. Formerly with Washington, by the way, Mark Murphy played in a couple of Super Bowls. But it is a decision by the president. The president is chosen by the board of directors and has to come up every so often for re-election. Now, yes, the fans do own the Green Bay Packers, but the Packers, what the fans get to do with their stock and an end around with Christian Watson, gets past the line of scrimmage, gets about 8 yards before getting bumped out of bounds. The ownership structure is such that if you buy stock in a team, you don't get dividends, but what you earn the right to do is attend the team's annual meeting and vote on the board of directors. It's the board of directors that chooses the president. It's the president that chooses the hierarchy of the football operations. So it is fan-owned by about 500,000 individual fans who have each bought stock in the team, like Anthony did. 2nd and 1 at the 42. Read in motion. A little bit of play action. Short throw over the middle, but it's going to be plenty for the first down and a lot more to Kraft to the 27-yard line. Mr. Dependable Tucker Kraft.
Sorry it took me a while. I had to get the right concoction mix of the the mix of water and hot chocolate to get
and
the
pepper
perfect.
and the
I mean, what are you if you don't have a
Candy
cane?
cane.
If you don't have a candy cane and some marshmallows in your hot chocolate, what are you doing?
I mean, there's like absolutely nobody in the zone where Kraft just ran right through.
Yeah,
I could have completed that.
I know. I was talking about how as run there for Jacobs. I know how I was talking.
That was a Wilson.
Oh yeah, sorry, Wilson. I just assume when I see a guy running, it's Josh Jacobs.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
But you know, I know I was talking about Joel Embiid getting ejected earlier. Andre Drummond in the Sixers Spurs game got ejected and then unejected.
What?
Because it was his second technical foul, and then they took back the tech.
Jeez. Okay.
So pretty rare you see that. So we see Luke Musgrave on the sidelines.
I'll have a story after this play.
Here we go, big 2nd and 2.
Love. There's a little end around action. Easy first down for Watson.
Just short of the end zone. There we go.
So an old 1977 Sixers game against the Celtics. A Sixers player gets ejected, but he was fouled during the play that led to his ejection. So he is already in the locker room, and then the officials are like, come on, you got to come back out. You got to shoot the foul shot before being re-ejected. See, where is he out? Yep, right there. Step with the right foot.
If only he could just have extended
Oh,
that.
is there a little bit of malfeasance, an extra flag?
We'll see, but there is a break. So I don't know if there's a break. I'm assuming it's an injury.
He seemed to be inadvertently hitting the head.
Okay, we'll see what's going on. But obviously after Tank Dell's injury and Jalen Hurts yesterday going to the protocol, it's been an injury-filled weekend. Prayers to Tank Dell. And I mean, Jalen Hurts is going to be fine.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess prayers to him, but like he's fine.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett wasn't too bad yesterday.
No,
I mean, he threw a pick, but like that's what you should expect a backup to do.
He was fine otherwise. I mean, they scored 26 points while he was a quarterback.
Yeah. Let's go.
They did well.
Yeah.
They did well with him. I can fault him for a couple of plays, but I can't blame the loss on him.
I agree with that.
I mean, it's more the defense.
Yeah, for sure. The defense had a rough day.
Definitely more the defense.
the high school national champions, at least according to Max Preps, the number one high school site. Mater Dei out of Santa Ana, California. So yeah, that's Mater Dei. I mean, they're a powerhouse. Hey, if anyone from St. Joe's Prep football program is watching, let's get a matchup against Mater Dei at Franklin Field.
Beautiful.
Let's show them who the real best team is.
There's no place more historic in Santa Ana, California, or even really anywhere. I guess you could say, what is Santa Ana more? San Francisco, I think, right?
No, Santa Ana is like Anaheimish.
Anaheim?
Yeah.
The only way you could have a more historic locale for that Mater Dei St. Joe's Prep game is if they played the game at the Coliseum or the Rose Bowl. And that ain't going to happen.
Franklin Field was older than both. So.
Right. But there's been more history at those two stadiums.
LA Coliseum, yes. The Rose Bowl doesn't. The Rose Bowl
is some of the greatest games ever played. And it's the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking like the track of Franklin Field. Like Usain Bolt, like the Coliseum, yes, has that.
Oh, Watson Olympic.
Yeah, it's not good. But like the track is just like.
Oh, track is, but we're talking the football field.
Yeah, I'm talking about the stadium as a whole here.
I understand, but I would still take the Rose Bowl over it.
Yeah,
Franklin Field hasn't had World Cup finals and Olympic games. Reed, almost to the goal line. So yeah, I would still take the Rose Bowl.
That's fair.
So.
So I gotta send to the Prep 28 group chat the Mater Dei national champions.
Wilson, touchdown!
Bam, 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 ba-da-da-da.
Go, Pack, go!
That's actually Brooks.
Brooks, okay.
Chris Brooks, a guy you don't hear the name of much.
Nope. Fantasy fans are not happy about
Where's
Josh Jacobs not getting the nod, but
my question is, where on earth is he?
It's all right.
Yeah, so Packers looking to make this one 21-0.
Oh. All right. Man, this team is just how much they have turned into ground and pound.
Mm-hmm.
I am always much more of a fan of the passing game, but I can't knock them for doing this. It works.
Uh-huh.
Ground and pound works.
And Will, I know you're a Maryland guy. Shout out St. Francis Academy.
Yeah.
I mean, top 10 in the country. Like, I mean, technically St. Joe's Prep does own the state of Maryland because we beat Our Lady of Good Counsel. But
yeah, but it's Our Lady of Good Counsel that good?
I don't know. I mean, they're not top 100, but yeah, shout out St. Francis Academy, who beat Pittsburgh Central Catholic, who lost to St. Joe's Prep in the state final.
Man,
shout out PCC though, great program.
Agreed.
With DeMar Hamlin,
Dan
Marino, great. Yeah, I mean, if you know
Biff, If the coach's name is Biff, he better be good, and he seems really, 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 really good.
If you know Biff is from the book, the Season of Life book.
Okay.
Biff was the one of the Joerman. Yeah. So for those of you, Season of Life is a book that is required. It's a really good book. Requires Saints going to return that one out to the 40,
about 38-yard line.
Yeah. Season of Life is a book required. That's every freshman at the Prep is required to read during the summer.
Biff, no relation to Biff Tannen from the Back to the Future grouping of movies.
Yeah. So Biff. So to just kind of give some context. So he went from. So he coached at Gilman alongside Joe Ehrman. Joe Ehrman was the offensive coordinator. Biff was the head coach and defensive coordinator. As that one
A
is
nice catch of the middle
Yeah.
to the 39.
So
Moreau.
he was the head coach at Gilman from 96 to 2015. Then went to St. Francis from 2017 to 2020, and then he was the associate head coach for Michigan for a couple years, and then spent 2 years as the head coach at Charlotte, where he went 6-16 and got fired.
Okay.
Be a DeMatha and Gonzaga. Everyone knows Gonzaga, Caleb Williams. But yeah, DeMatha's also top 10 in the country, I want to say.
Nice.
But yeah, so shout out to Maryland for being good. But yeah, St. Francis. I need a St. Francis St. Joe's Prep game. I need a modern day St. Joe's Prep. Who else do we want? We want Milton from Georgia. We played them a couple years ago. They're number 2. I want them.
I never thought of Maryland as being a high school football hotbed, but it is.
This year it has been. So,
Man.
But yeah. And shout out Catholic schools.
Yes.
St. Francis.
Habemus Ludum. We got game.
That's Jesuits more than anything.
True.
At least in college.
Run stopped after about just 2 yards on second.
But yes, Habemus Ludum got game for
3.5 or 4
high school football.
The Saints.
And I know inevitably St. Joe's Prep football will be a discussion of the fourth quarter as RTG Ryan, the great Ryan Sullivan, will join me. My partner in crime on the Prep versus MOTAP Charter football broadcast, which by the way, just saying, when him and I did the game, it got the most views of any stream in the club's history. So,
Won the state championship? Wow.
Yup.
Okay.
4.8K. So, shout out to everyone who watched that. Good Prep.
Nice.
That was a fun game.
Yes.
And the alumni was not as alive at any other game than it was for the MOTAP game.
Oh.
They were fired up.
They're more dialed into the city championship than the state championship.
The students were in for the PCL, of course, against LaSalle.
Third and 10. And they got the 11 to the 29-yard line.
Big
Miller.
freaking fracking run.
I will probably, because I've got a doctor's appointment early tomorrow, I'm probably going to call it a night after the second war.
I don't blame you.
Had a long day.
Yeah. I haven't. I rolled out about like 8:30 this morning. All I've really done is gone for a walk. Got my steps in for the day, but other than that, been low key enjoying Christmas break. As Will says, Hayfield, powerhouse in Northern Virginia. For context, the Prep played. We got murdered by St. Ed's of where are they from? Where's St. Ed's from? Why can't I remember the city name? I should know this. Lakewood, Ohio.
Okay.
And then we murdered Erasmus Hall.
All right.
At home, and then we went to Our Lady.
Ooh, fumble!
Who's got it? I think the Packers have it.
Yep.
Yes, they do. Went to Our Lady of Council and won 2019, something like that.
Let's send them to Northern Wisconsin, and then they can make rivets.
Prep needs a game. Prep needs a game against Market High.
Oh yes, that'd be awesome.
For you.
Yes, against my alma mater, fellow Jesuit school.
Yes, they are. But also, what do we think about this whole Red Zone saga?
The fact that there are now commercials on Red Zone,
And apparently the NFL is considering their options when it comes to what they're going to be doing in future weeks. on.
I think nothing shocks me when it comes to the NFL and trying to make revenue.
Yeah. It's. I mean, Home Alone's the basic answer. Elf is a great one. Christmas Story.
I would be bouncing back and forth between the Nativity and the Christmas Story. And a Christmas Story.
Okay.
Gonna shoot your eye out, kid.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Fudge.
Also, shout out to the Peach Bowl.
For?
Phenomenal. Banning Diva. Protecting everyone. Also, I saw an argument about the college football playoff, and I know we talked about this earlier, or I talked about it earlier directly, but not this specifically. They should not give top 4 seeds to conference champions. That's the change that needs to be made for next year. Because if you just go ranked 1 through 12, the matchups would have been so much better.
True.
Guarantee them a bid. In.
Yeah.
But the first round would have been so much better. I mean, like, you're talking, as I'm just going to grab the playoff rankings. First round would have consisted of, let's see, is this the playoff rankings? I think it is. Yeah. It would have consisted of, let's see, buys would have gone to Oregon, Georgia, Texas, Penn State. And then it would have been Notre Dame, Clemson.
Ooh.
Notre Dame, Clemson, Arizona State, Ohio State. That would have been good.
Watson's back.
There you go. SMU, Tennessee, Indiana, Boise State.
SMU, Tennessee. That actually might have been a good game because it was two teams that just got boat raced themselves. 6-yard game.
Yeah. But, like, Notre Dame, Clemson would be a dogfight.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
I agree.
I mean, I think Clemson just had a bad day. I think Tennessee had a bad day, too. They're better teams than they played. But Boise State at Indiana would be a heck of a game.
Yeah.
I mean, that would just be a dogfight.
True.
Between those two teams.
All right, love. Let's get in the end zone.
Like the play action.
Oh, looping
deep
it in.
ball. Oh, so close.
Oh, Dobbs was there.
Yeah. It's a Wonderful Life. I don't mind that answer.
Yeah.
That was on a Christmas trivia thing.
Here's a question.
In one of my classes.
Do you consider The Sound of Music a Christmas movie? The only reason why I think it could be is because that's when we tend to see it on TV. Is during the Christmas
You're
season.
saying what movie?
No, I'm sorry. The Sound of Music.
No, I don't know.
Is Sound of Music a Christmas story?
Will says no.
Okay.
3rd and 4. They're going to pass it. It is
another
deep.
loop.
It is
Overthrown.
Packers are going to have to punt. Fix the number of teams. I think the playoffs should be 24 teams.
I've always liked that theory.
I mean, we've talked about it off camera. I think it should be 24 teams, and every conference champ makes it.
Every conference champ makes it. And then you have how many at large?
It would be their. Hold on, let me count it up quickly because I've got it somewhere over there.
Well, how many conferences are there?
So I'm trying to figure out. ESPN can tell me. They're going to be better than. You would have rankings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you get 14 at-large bets.
I'm okay with that.
That's including the Pac-12 as conference, which technically it is.
Right, which I think is ridiculous, but
so you'd be getting your first round matchups would be BYU, Clemson, Oregon State, Boise State, Iowa State, Ole Miss, Marshall, Bama, Miami, Missouri, Jacksonville State, SMU, Army, South Carolina, and Ohio, Arizona State. Some of those are blowouts.
yeah.
But, like, Army, South Carolina, heck of a game. Miami, Missouri, heck of a game. BYU, Clemson, heck of a game.
Yeah.
Iowa State, Ole Miss, heck of a game. And then, I mean, you're setting up for the second round. We're talking like, I mean, Boise State, Tennessee.
Jackson Johnson.
What's up, Jackson? Talking Boise State, Tennessee, Bama, Penn State, Ole Miss, Texas. Like, Indiana, Arizona State. Actually, I would probably flip Ohio State and Indiana. So you'd be getting, actually, Indiana, SMU. That'd be a good game. But yeah, I think 24 teams is the
real problem you have with the college football playoff isn't the amount of teams. It's not which teams they've selected and the imbalance of conferences. It's that it just has a lot of blowouts.
Yeah.
In the entire history of the college football playoff.
It's just part of it.
Only 29% of games end up as one-score games.
Yeah.
71% are 2+ score wins. A lot of those being big blowouts.
It happens. I mean, remember, think even Alabama, Notre Dame a few years ago, right? Even the big name programs are going to get blown out.
Right.
It's just part of the game. It sucks, but it's part of the game.
I'll never forget after that telling a friend of mine that simultaneously Notre Dame is simultaneously at the same time a top 5 college football program and completely irrelevant when it comes to winning a national title.
Under Brian Kelly, yes.
Yeah.
Under Brian Kelly, they were. Now under Marcus Freeman, it's different.
They have a chance.
Because under Brian Kelly, they could never win the big game, but they would never lose the small game. Now under Marcus Freeman, they can win the big game, but they're going to lose games. They should murder the other team.
Jason Kelsey attempting to eat cheddar off a big, huge
He's eating it like the
red-covered brick.
That's not a red-covered brick. That's like the little things that kids have. I forget what they're called. The little red-covered.
No, it's a red-covered brick of cheese. That is.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the thing. It's like a little thing that kids eat. I forget it.
20-yard line. They got to go 80 yards fast within a minute and 46.
Jackson just says straight up, Saints are terrible. Yeah, something like that.
Yep.
I swear. The Philadelphia Flyers are just they're losing 6-3 to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
To Pittsburgh. Sidney Crosby, old man Crosby scoring goals. I didn't even know he was still playing.
Rivalry.
Sixers look like they're going to win. That's good. Bucks are murdering the Bulls. We like that.
Yeah.
What's going on in Bowl Mania today?
30-yard line, 3rd and 1. Easy first down, but he only gains about 2 yards. And a timeout. Nope, flag.
Bowl Mania today. We got.
Oh, I'm a good guys. Darn.
UTSA beats Coastal Carolina at Coastal Carolina, who is the road team at their own stadium in the Myrtle Beach Bowl. Because because technically they were just the road team. I don't know how that works, and then in overtime, Northern Illinois gets a 28-20 double overtime win over Fresno State. I'll run through my picks, not just the Peach Bowl and the Rose Bowl, but Fiesta, Penn State wins. I'll go 27, or I'll go 24-21 over Boise State. Or 27-24. Close game.
That's a drop.
That is a drop. So New Year's Eve, Penn State advances, and then New Year's Day, Texas wins 35. I'm going to be generous and say 35-10. That's generous. I'm thinking, actually, I'm going to go 38-7.
Coach's Magic, I have an answer for you. Bishop Sycamore.
No, seriously.
45-yard line, 1st and 10, almost a pick.
Almost or almost a reception as well.
Okay.
Um,
Unless I mistook what I just saw
But-
because there's a light in front of me.
most college football championships though, is it like Yale?
Double tipped twice, almost caught. Okay. I thought Harvard had it at first.
I'll go
I
Harvard.
could be wrong.
I'll go Harvard. Yeah, Jackson, you're not wrong on that. And 2 of the 3 NFC North teams in the championship. Rattler just gives himself up there. But yeah, Texas wins 38-7 over Arizona State.
Yeah.
Yale 18.
Ooh,
Okay, I was
okay.
right.
Okay.
Don't play. And then who's after?
44 seconds.
And then Rose Bowl, Oregon beats Ohio State 35-34.
Oh, classic.
You know it's going to be a good game.
Oh,
And then primetime Notre Dame, Georgia. In the Sugar Bowl, it's going to be a heck of a game. Going to go Notre Dame 21-17.
I don't know. I'm still thinking Georgia.
Georgia on a backup quarterback.
That's true.
Carson Beck out for the
That's
entirety of
true.
the playoff is getting he's getting surgery. I got to go Notre Dame. Their defense is too dominant. They're gonna just eat that quarterback alive.
Get you.
Stop.
First
And then
down and out of bounds. 39 seconds.
semifinals:
Sure.
Notre Dame, Penn State. Notre Dame wins. Oregon beats Texas, and then Oregon beats Oregon Notre Dame national championship. I guess I'll go Oregon, but really close.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Riley Mills' injury does hurt, but I'm still picking Notre Dame. But yeah, close. But I'm picking Oregon to be Notre Dame and then Natty. Where's the Natty this year?
I don't remember.
Oh, Atlanta.
15 seconds left. And they live at Saints coach.
What's their coach's name?
Arguing about where to find the best cheese curds in Green Bay. What he's saying, I have no idea, but
All right, now their coach is Darren Rizzi.
okay. Oh, did he have enough control, or is it incomplete?
This guy looks like
I think
someone.
let's fumble.
He looks like a reporter from NBC.
Nah.
I forget the guy's name, but he's got the eyes. Is it Gabe Gutierrez? No. It might be Gabe Gutierrez
Okay.
from NBC. In that picture specifically, not overall, but that specifically he does. I like them both.
Bad.
I like them when you can hear the squeak, but they're fried. You know what I'm talking about? When
Boom.
they're fried, but you still get that squeak.
Boom.
Love hurts again. I'm like going into
I won't sing the song.
that game. I'm gonna be like confident like in my backers because I trust them. I'm not saying I'm predicting them to win. I'm saying I'm confident in their abilities to win.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I think if
First
they play a
10.
good game, they will. Under pressure.
Sack back
Night,
at 49.
Nightmares to Texas OU games. And there Rizzi's losing it.
I think I'm starting to quote Dwayne Wade
Night
during the
night.
Olympics.
That is a legendary D-Way.
Yeah.
Linus night.
Just how great that game was. I still remember it. one of the best of basketball games I've ever seen.
By the way, AJ Brown becoming the is tied now for the longest streak in franchise history for consecutive seasons with 1,000+ yards with Mike Quick. So shout out. Quick.
All right, 9 seconds. I'm getting tired. I'm going to sit up. These last plays. Showing Troy with a quarter zip and the sweater look.
No, I don't like the
Wear ties.
suit and tie. That's it. And all of this crap, who was wearing? I saw there's a comment. Okay. Sport coat, tie.
Yeah.
I don't need none of the stuff under. You know the other like suit piece under the sport coat. I don't need none of that.
No, it's fine.
I like it clean. Sport coat, dress shirt, tie. That's all you
vest
need.
for warmth is absolutely understandable.
Oh, is it a vest? Is that the thing?
Sometimes a vest.
No, I mean the John like that like cuts out like down here.
Yeah.
It's a vest.
There's like the button, like the same fabric type of vest that you have with a suit, and then there's like the vest that's sort of a sweater like thing. Either one's fine.
Yeah, not a sweater. I'm talking about the one that's like down there. Like
that's also a different type of vest.
In my opinion, you gotta now. If you're an announcer, like I don't mind, like a sweater, as well. But 3rd and 22, you're looking for a miracle. Under pressure, so close. Airs it out.
Get to the end zone.
Hail Mary.
Intercepted. Though they ruled it complete anyway.
Yeah.
So either way, zip on the scoreboard. 21-0 Packers. Go, Pack. Go. I'm heading to Hague. Good night.
Good night.
Love you, kid.
We too, go Pack. So Packers are 2 quarters away from heading to the playoffs. We will take a quick break on the other side. Halftime coverage, as it is the Packers 21, the Saints nothing, right here on Soldier Stories. back here for some halftime discussion as we take a look around the NFL. Anthony Sorgi back with you for some more chatting at the half. Let's start on Thursday night where the Chargers beat the Broncos in what was a very, very close game, 34-27 the final in that one. On Saturday, the Chiefs beat the Texans 27-19. The Ravens, in a huge rivalry game, get a win over Pittsburgh 34-17. In Washington, we talked about it earlier, the Commanders win 36-33 over the Eagles. Rams 19, Jets 9, the final from New York. The Falcons 34-7 over the Giants in what was a rough game for New York. In overtime, the Panthers pull off the upset at home against the Arizona Cardinals, eliminating the Cardinals from the playoffs. 36-30 the final there. The Bengals get the Ohio win over the Browns 24-6. The Colts over the Titans 38-30 in Indianapolis. The Lions 34-17 over the Bears in Chicago. Vikings 27-24 over the Seahawks on the road. The Bills win 24-21 in a close one against the Patriots in Buffalo. The Raiders pull off the win against Jacksonville 19-14 on Sunday, also the Dolphins get a 29-17 win over San Francisco. And on Sunday Night Football, the Cowboys beat the Buccaneers 26-24. Packers up 21-0 at the half. Around the rest of sports currently, so we take a look at the NBA. At the end of the third, Bucks 92-72. Jazz losing to the Cavaliers in Cleveland at 113-108, the score there. Hawks 106, Timberwolves 96. It's the Heat 96-87 over the Nets. It is the Knicks 126-102 over the Raptors. That one in the fourth quarter. In the third, it is the Clippers 80, the Grizzlies 79 in Memphis. The Thunder lead the Wizards 80-77. And at the half, it is Dallas 62, Portland 53. Your NBA final scores: 76ers 111, Spurs 106, Rockets 114, Hornets 101, Magic 108, Celtics 104 later tonight, Suns Nuggets, Pacers Warriors, and Pistons Lakers. Now to the NHL. It's the Lightning for the Panthers, nothing. That one with 3 minutes to go. Blue Jackets lead the Canadiens with 37 seconds, 5-4 the score there. Sabres up 5-1 on the Islanders in the third. At the end of the second, it is Predators 2, Hurricanes nothing. Meanwhile, in Minnesota, at the end of the second, it's Blackhawks 2, Wild nothing. Sharks and Canucks tied at 1 in the first. Also in the first, it's the Stars 1, Utah 1. Final scores from around the NHL today: Penguins 7, Flyers 3, Devils 5, Rangers 0, Jets 5, Maple Leafs 2, Bruins 4, Capitals 1, Blues 4, Red Wings 1. Ducks Golden Knights is tonight in Vegas. That is about it for what's going on in sports right now as we await the second half. As Will says, the Vikings-Seahawks game was the most fun red zone game I saw. Justin Jefferson was too good. Gino and DK weren't on the same page, and the Vikings picked off. Yeah. Well, oh, man. But yeah, also NCAA men's basketball. I guess I'll hit that. Only ranked game today was Tennessee 82, Middle Tennessee State 64. Women's hoops. Nothing. How about just seeing if there's anything going on anywhere? Nope. Not really. Was there any EPL action that I had to talk about? Nope. Just see if there's anything else to cover. Congrats, Penn State, on winning the national championship in volleyball. Shout out We are Penn State. Big dub for the state of Pennsylvania. Although we are Marquette, of course, over everything. And, yeah. So, Jack Golke was signed by the Wisconsin Herd, the Bucks minor league squad. So, that's cool. Or G League squad, I guess I should say. But yeah. For the fourth quarter, Ryan Sullivan, known as Ryan the Great on YouTube, one of our guys over at WSJP, the Student Broadcasting Club at St. Joseph's Prep, will be joining me to chat football and sports or whatever. I guess let's go through some MLB signings, because why not there? That's something to chat about here as I just take a quick look around. Here we go. Carlos Santana to Cleveland. Andrew McCutchen back in Pittsburgh. Jock Peterson to the Rangers. Joe Ross, former Brewer, to the Phils. Cam Jones is the best offensive player that Shaka Smart has coached, for sure, especially scoring-wise. I'm trying Marquette, Stevie Mitchell was probably the best defensive player he's coached at Marquette, but VCU so scrappy and awesome to see that. But yeah, so about to start the second half here, third quarter. It's just me. I'm all alone. But yeah, so back here for more action at Lambeau Field here, start of the third quarter. So we see Mount Murphy press boxes and set Mount Murphy, the big stand. There as we get ready to kick off the second half. Brandon McManus to kick it off. Returning will be New Orleans here as we are underway once again. Kickoff is brought out to the 20-yard line, out to about the 23 or so. So we see Joe Buck and Troy Aikman nice and warm up in their booth. But I think Cam Jones is right now my pick to win National Player of the Year. I mean, he's just phenomenal. And if he steps up in the big games and puts up 30 in a lot of the not big games and a big game or two, I think he's National Player of the Year. He's just too good. He's the best point guard in the country. So shout out K1, co-host of the K1 and Stewie Show, via Marquette Wire. So we see Matt LaFleur, clean look. I love the jacket and hoodie. It's so clean. My dad's a very big suit and tie guy for football. For sports, though. But I'm a fan of LaFleur's look. I think that's the right winter look. 2nd and 7 for New Orleans here. Spencer Rattler throws. They're going to get the first down there. On the reception is number 25, Kendre Miller, the second-year back out of TCU, 6'2", 22-year-old. So 1st and 10, 13:52 to go here in the third quarter. Under center is Rattler, hands it off for a loss. Good stop there by the green and gold. And you in here. Appreciate you all in here on this Monday night as the Packers and Saints face off. Packers looking to clinch up that, clinch that playoff berth. Celebrate a little bit tonight on Christmas Eve. And yeah, we see Edgerrin Cooper there in the background. Absolute beast. Rattler under pressure. Whew. And that's going to go back to Miller, I think, right? Yes. And third down now is what it will be. Been live for an hour and 42 minutes now. Appreciate y'all sticking with us this evening. Shout out to all the other great channels though, who are streaming this. Whether it be Tom Grossi, Dark Thunder 16, a lot of great fellow YouTubers. 3rd and 2. 12-20 to go here. Rattler throws, incomplete, 4th down. New Orleans, I mean, if I were them, I'd go for it. But they'll probably put, what they should do? Nah, go for it, just because what else are you going to do right now? It's just my opinion, though. Just me. So 4th and 2, they will punt unless it's a fake. And timeout called. Or delay of game, actually, I think called. Nah. If I'm being honest, nah. They had a rough time in Vegas. Well, we'll talk to Ryan Sullivan a little bit about that as well. But they had a really rough road trip to Vegas. They lost to a team from Utah by 20. Then lost to a team from Arizona by 8. Then won a game against Jared McCain's school. And then lost to a team from California by 8. Lost to Emotep Charger to start the year as well. I think they'll get a win over Salesianum, where Dante DiVincenzo went. Great school. I have considered going there. It's a phenomenal school. A lot of credit to them. Beautiful football stadium and press box down at Abacino there in Wilmington, right off the I-95. Wilmington's an awesome city, by the way. If anyone's in the Philly area, go take a day down to Wilmington. Go catch a Blue Rocks game if they're in season. It's a awesome place. But yeah, we're top 5 in the city right now, according to Philly Hoops Group. But Father Judge, Roman Catholic, Emotep Charter, who we played and lost by 8-2 to start the season, and Archbishop Carroll out of Radnor, where our boy Nick the Legend goes, are all ahead of the prep currently. So top 4 in the PCL, not too bad, but just the issue is we don't have a big man. That's the real issue about this team. I mean, you got guys like Jaron McKee, who's a beast, 1,000 points for him. Olin Chamberlain, who is the student council vice president, fan favorite. He's on that squad. They've got some guys. I mean, Justin McKee, who I Spanish class with, is a good as a rising star as well as a freshman. But overall, it's gonna take some time. But I will say, JV squad, they got a kid named Kobe Wisnowski. And he's 6'4" right now. I sit next to him in Spanish. And man, Kobe is he's gonna be tall. Gonna be pretty tall, gonna be a good big man for the boys. By the time it's our senior year. But yeah, Roman Catholic's great. We play them on January 8th, and then we play Judge February 10th, play Archbishop Carroll January 17th, and all of those available on SJP Broadcasting, WSJP's YouTube channel, where we broadcast every St. Joe's prep game. Every football and basketball game. other sports. We do some hockey, do some baseball, did some soccer. We'll do some lacrosse. Maybe throw in a little bit of rugby, possibly. Maybe some swimming. Who knows? Just a little bit of everything. We did wrestling a couple weeks ago. Shout out Prep Wrestling. We gotta get out to a bowling match one time. That's what we gotta do. But yeah, shout out to WSJP co-moderator Mr. Bill Avington, class of '90. Actually was on the scoreboard of the Sixers game tonight. So shout out Mr. Avington. Shout out Mr. Burns, class of I want to say 15. Also our co-moderator. Shout out to Gavin Heinrichs, class of 25. Our club president Dom Schalk, Sean Droznak, the club vice presidents, both juniors. Ryan Sullivan, 27. Cole Kuhn, 27. Who else? John Claffey, 26. Dom Camp, 26. Yeah, great crew over at WSJP. All working hard. Shout out to our photo guys as well, photo and video teams. Shout out to our graphics guy, Drew Brousseau. Great group over there. Shout out to Prep Sports. Mr. Danny D, as Anthony Gargano calls him. Bo Melton there on the jet sweep gets a nice first down there. And shout out Coach Tim Roken for football. Had a good interview with him before the state championship game. Has 5 state chips now as he's got 5 state chips as a head coach. Got 5 as head coach, has 4 as an offensive coordinator for the Prep. And shout out Kyle. I'm trying to think of just guys. Shout out Marvin Harrison Jr., Kyle McCord, Jeremiah Trotter, Josiah Trotter. As Josh Jacobs goes for a nice little run for 8 yards there. And watch out. I know people are talking about Jeremiah Smith being a great true freshman. Watch out for Jet Harrison when he's a true freshman. Probably at Ohio State if I had to bet. He's a freshman at the Prep, and he's our best receiver. Phenomenal player. Good kid too. But yeah, so yeah, we got a good basketball team, like compared to other teams, but not for us. Not by our standards. For sports, I guess. So for Prep standards, is to be the best. Apparently, at halftime, Mark Murphy got on the PA system and addressed Packers fans. He said, "Every NFL team says our fans are the best. We're the only team where that's true, and you're also the best owners in the NFL." Very, very true. And yeah, here in Philly, we will be getting some snow tomorrow. A little early Christmas gift for the great people of Metro Philadelphia. So run there for Brooks. Sets up second down, 9:20 to go. Well, let's check the winter cast. See when we're getting some snow in the building. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So somebody is going to be walking during that time tomorrow to go and see some snow. Because he doesn't love snow, right? I mean, it's awesome. But yeah, looking like maybe we get a little 10 a.m. But yeah, we're going to be getting snow. Going to be getting like a total of probably a little bit less than an inch total. And then it will probably melt very soon after, as it'll be getting up to 40 degrees tomorrow. But yeah, Will, if you're still in here, what's the Maryland high school hoop scene like? What's going on down in MD? This time of year, now that we've finished up football and are on to hoops down there, as we're seeing Melton in motion. Love's going to throw to Melton, but that's going to be low. Okay. Gotcha. So Paul the Sixth being pretty dominant. Okay. I like it. Oh, you always know when there's a sixth involved. You always know it's a Catholic school. And yeah. So here we go. 7:40 to go here in the third. 3rd and 6. Almost beat Montverde. Like, okay, nice. There you go. Oh man. I'm not very well versed as I do know about Montverde Academy down there in Florida. But I'm not as well versed on basketball. Just it's like high school football is so awesome, but considering the prep is in a national powerhouse, right? In basketball, it's not as fun for the boys. The Packers are going to be punting here. It's not quite as fun as getting to pay attention to the crazy football scene. I can't wait to chat about high school football here in a few minutes with Ryan Sullivan. And we'll, of course, chat about prep. We'll chat about LaSalle College High School. We'll get into some high school hoops as well. And we'll, of course, talk about this game. His 55-yard attempt is up and good, 24-0. The Packers lead now. But, I mean, we'll talk about LaSalle College High School and or the Prep's arch rivals and their phenomenal season that they had, beating the Prep and then losing to the Prep in the Philadelphia Catholic League Championship. 4-star recruit offered by essentially every team on planet Earth. Joey O'Brien, he plays receiver and corner. So essentially looking to be the next Travis Hunter. Currently sitting with, and he also plays basketball. I'm seeing one of his basketball highlights right now where he just went coast to coast for a dunk. Dude's just phenomenal. But sitting currently with offers from Michigan, Boston College, Illinois, Toledo, South Florida, UCLA, Florida State, Indiana, Miami, Notre Dame, Penn State, Duke, Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Tennessee, Oregon, Missouri, Michigan State, Ole Miss, West Virginia, Virginia Tech, Temple, Syracuse, Nebraska. Really, really good. Really, really good. Yeah, well, there's a guy to check out for Philly hoops. Shout out to Nick the Legends boy. What is it? By Mike Live is what I want to say. He's over at Archbishop Carroll. Yeah, by Mike Live. Check him out. Great high school hoops content. He was over at LaSalle for Salesianum LaSalle today, and then now he's over at Conwell Egan, watching Egan face off against whoever they're playing. I don't know honestly who they're playing. ELS, great night to be a Packer fan, man. It's pretty boring, nothing much to talk about, but I'm not complaining about that. But yeah. Just seeing if there's anything going on as we see the new Hawaii football district. I don't think we've ever seen anything like this for college football. It looks gorgeous. But we've never seen this like mixed residential business, like Deer District style kind of thing for college football. But I love it. Quaker, it's rare that you see a Quaker school getting some action. Bishop O'Connell as well. Always the bishops, right? Trying to think, well, what bishops? Bishop Gorman, who was top 10 in football this year. That's where the Prep played their basketball tournament in Vegas. Their football stadium and their campus are just gorgeous. Absolutely like stunning to look at. And as we see what I talked about earlier, Matt LaFleur has the highest winning percentage in December of anyone ever. That's surprising that Obama would send his girls to a Quaker school. But hey, if it's a good school, I get it. No, not everyone at St. Joe's Prep is Catholic. We have Muslim kids. We've got other denominations of Christianity. We gotta have some Jewish kids, I'm assuming. It's all about the education at the end of the day. But yeah. Second and 4 now. That's a good little TFL there for the Pack. Edgar Cooper or Enigbare actually there on the stop. Will, if the Prep plays another game in Maryland, we might have to link up on get you in the stands for a game while I was gonna say I'll be in the booth, but most of our games we're not in the booth because coaches are in there. We have to sit in the cold, which is fine. We brave through it, especially down on the field. For me, in some of those December games where it's really chilly and I've got like a lot of layers on. It's gonna be a nice little run. Guys, well, I was just talking about the kid Cole Kuhn in the chat. What's up, Cole? Saying Sorgy. I was just giving you a shout out, Cole. Talking about our great WSJP crew. As Ryan will be joining me here in 5 or so minutes, or football, at least 5.5 minutes of football. I don't know about actual time. And Cole with a phenomenal background. I have that. Where's my phone background that has it? Hold on, I gotta flip it off of my Packers one. Find the Phillies one. Cole's PFP is one of my phone backgrounds. Bryce Harper staring down Orlando Arcia. Cole, we're just talking about high school sports because this is actually I forgot to update the score. That's how bad this game is. Let me flip it as Devontae Wyatt there on a big stop, 24-0. I don't even know if I mentioned that, but we see a picture of a Saints freezer, which is what was used to prepare for this game by New Orleans. But yeah, so let me flip this back to Packers background. Scroll on through. There we go. Christian Watson, knee injury, questionable to return. That's according to ESPN. 2nd and 12 here. Saints almost at midfield. Rattler's going to look to throw. Throws deep. Has a man. Complete. Deep into Packer territory. ELS saying don't think the freezer. We talked about high school football, high school basketball, college football, NFL. That's about it. That's I mean, college football is what we end up talking about every stream here. Because we got a lot of college football fans in the chat. Big sack for the Pack, taking the Saints out of field goal range. But yeah, folks, go check out Cole on Instagram. What's the IG? I gotta find it. CK shoots .1. Here, I'll put it in the chat. that in there. There we go. Great picks from prep football season. As Rattler's going to throw, check down there. And there's Ezra Cooper saying, no. But yeah, 3:20 to go here as we get closer to the fourth quarter. 3rd and 17 now for New Orleans on this Christmas Eve. It was the night before Christmas. Just great tackle there, wrapping up the back. So here we go, 3rd and 17, 2:56 to go. Rattler scrambling, under pressure, throws, first down into Packer territory, down at the 23-yard line. Saints looking to finally get on the board. Pettis there on the reception. I was one of them. Tennessee's better than they played. But Ohio State just had the night of a lifetime. But if I'm not mistaken, Cole, where are your picks in here? I gotta find your picks in the WSJP. Where are you in here, Cole? Oh, you were the one to pick Penn State, weren't you? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're the only one to pick Ohio State. I'm tied with you right now. I'm also tied with, I'm assuming this is Drew or so. I'm assuming so. I don't know Kanye West is, though. I'm still saying Oregon Notre Dame chip. 2:11 to go here in the third. We'll take a quick break. On the other side, more action from Green Bay right here on Sorsey Stories. Back here for more action in Green Bay as we see Troy Aikman pulling out the telestrator to show the failures within the Packers defense. Or maybe not, because the Packers got a pick that I missed. So the Packers with the ball at the 20. Jordan Love is going to throw tipped, and it's intercepted by New Orleans. But the Packers, he doesn't fall on it. Oh, he loses it. Saunders there has the pick and drops it. So Kalen Saunders, the sixth-year defensive tackle out of Western Illinois, had the pick, collided with number 1 Alante Taylor, the third-year corner out of Tennessee. Packers ball, 2nd and 10 at their own 20. Disaster avoided for the green and gold. Loving the shotgun. He's got a man to his left. Bo Melton in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Wilson. Wilson to the outside. Wilson to the 30. Wilson to the... A lot of yards. I couldn't tell where he went out, but good amount of yards there. And we see how Saunders had the pick against KC and almost went for his second pick of the year. And he went far. All got a nice 35-yard return. Had Taylor Swift talking about him. And just almost had pick number 2 of the year on that one. 1st and 10 at the 37 for Green Bay. Under center is Love. He's going to hand it off to Wilson. Wilson out to the 44-ish yard line. 1:14 to go here until we enter the fourth quarter. Green Bay looking to advance to 11-4 and the playoffs. Oh, how sweet it is to be dancing once again up in Green Bay. Ryan will be on in 43 seconds. Packers get a play there. So we see Josh Jacobs seems to be done for the night. Oh, thank you, Cole. Thank you. Appreciate it. I need to see if I have any. I only have 2 for tonight. I didn't have that much time to throw some more music on. Because I got home from a walk and started setting everything up after shooting at a couple requests to see who could pop on the stream. As I need to find... Actually, no, I do have two lobby Christmas songs, so we will use both of them here as I upload one. And now I'll upload the other moment. Okay, so looks like we are, I think, actually going to take a quick break here. But after the break, fourth quarter action from Green Bay, we will be right back. Back here for fourth quarter action from Green Bay. And joining us now is a man who has a YouTube channel himself and is also one of the great guys I was talking about earlier, over at WSJP. Ryan, the great Ryan Sullivan.
How we doing, baby? How we
Welcome to
doing?
Sorgy Stories, Ryan.
What is it?
Welcome to Sorgy Stories.
Appreciate that. As you guys know, I am Ryan the Great. I probably should have put that on my display name, but it is what it is. But yeah, at Ryan the Great on YouTube. Make sure you guys go subscribe there. And while you're at it, if you're not subscribed to Sorgy Stories, make sure you guys go do that as well. We're in here for the fourth quarter of a pretty one-sided game.
Yeah, there you go. I got you there.
There we go.
As our boy Cole Kuhn in the chat.
Oh yeah, Cole.
Chatting. But yeah, it has been a one-sided game. It's been just murdered by Green Bay as they look to clinch this playoff spot in under 15 minutes of play.
And I mean, right now I'm looking at the Packers, and it's just an absolute domination show. Like,
Yeah.
I think the Saints are obviously a bad team; they're a tanking team right now. But the Packers are looking good as it is.
They are. And I was actually about to ask you about what Cole's talking about as a scenario here. Would you rather, as an Eagles fan, take on Green Bay or Washington in the first round?
Washington 100%. And when you're looking at the Washington Commanders right now, you're looking at a team that is very, very good, but also a team that has not beaten a proverbial playoff team. And you're looking at what was happening with the Philadelphia Eagles just the other day, and that was that the Eagles were beating the Commanders pretty handily. First drive of the game, Eagles took it right down. The Eagles got some turnovers on defense, and when Jalen Hurts got injured, it seemed like everything fell apart. So I'm looking at when Jalen Hurts is healthy, they looked absolutely incredible. And I think that you have to be even if you're a Commanders fan, you have to be a little realistic with yourself and talk about, when Jalen Hurts is in the game, they look like they look better than the Commanders, in my opinion.
Play there to Bo Melton, or was that Brooks there? That's going to be Brooks there, it looks like. Yeah, getting a couple yards, so sets up a fourth down where the Packers will punt with 13:55 to go here.
I might be a bit ahead of you.
Yeah, you probably are. I'm behind of everyone, but I'm not going to get into detailed
I got you.
anyway, considering how bad of a game this is.
I got you.
But yeah, it's like, as a Packers fan, we see the wave going on at Lambeau. I actually feel decently confident playing the Eagles a second time. I think that Green Bay has a decent chance of winning, even if it's in Philly. I'm still feeling somewhat confident, not incredibly confident, but it's like they're very evenly matched teams. And it's just about who's going to play the better football game at the end of the day.
I agree. I would take the Eagles at the current moment in time.
Yeah.
I honestly would take the Eagles over everybody really in the NFC. I'll be honest with you.
What if you're playing at Detroit?
See, that's tough because I feel like with the Lions, they have their defense is hurt, but their offense, even without David Montgomery, you still have Jahmyr Gibbs and all that. So I feel like I don't know. I feel like you match up well when you're on offense, but when you're on defense, I don't know how you handle Amon-Ra St. Brown and all them.
Sure.
But I mean, the Eagles have been playing tight ends well. With Sam Laporta and all that. So It's a tough game. I feel like the Eagles could score on the Lions pretty handily, but I don't know how their defense matches up against the Lions offense.
For sure. As the Packers punt, there is a flag. The ball down at the 8. Cold TBD. We'll see. I'm very iffy. I've streamed Packers playoff games in the past, and I'm very iffy on streaming playoff games. Like the Super Bowl, I for sure wouldn't stream just because I'm going to be so dialed in.
Yeah,
But it's like for some of these games, you get too dialed in to even stream. Sometimes I'm pacing around when like all the games I haven't streamed this year, pacing around the den down here, because of just how you get stressed when you're watching your teams. Right, Ryan? You know the feeling.
The only emotion I've ever shown on stream was when the Eagles lost the Super Bowl. That was a disaster.
You were on stream for that?
I was so.
I was on stream for that too, and I kept my composure until afterwards, and I just threw my hat down, kicked my desk. I was just like, "Yeah, this is."
Yeah, it was a disaster.
It was a disaster.
Happy about it.
But yeah, Whelan will repunt here on 4th and 25 after 15-yard penalty against Green Bay.
Up in any way.
Stott home run isn't emotion, Cole says.
Well, I mean, like sad emotion.
Yeah.
I can also see Cole's chats as well. This is so cool.
Yes, you
Um,
can.
But I mean, yeah, that was like happy emotion. Like sad
Yeah.
emotion was probably. Well, I don't know if I streamed when the Phillies lost in the playoffs. Like one year. I don't think I did.
I
So
gotta look at our most popular streams and figure out what my happiest and saddest emotions
my
probably
most
were.
popular stream, I believe, is Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Davis.
Mine is Ohio State, Oregon,
Okay.
which is a pretty, and then second to that is Iowa, UConn women's Final Four.
Okay. I think the
Which
reason
you got.
I think the reason the fight is the highest is because people thought I was like illegally streaming the fight. To be honest with you, and it got so many clicks.
Yeah, I think Iowa, UConn. It's like I didn't have that much interest in the game, but I was just like, it's going to get a lot of views.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
just got to go for it.
Definitely.
And then let's see. After that was when I got Grossi rated the first time.
Okay.
On Packers Niners playoffs, which that one sucked. That was the divisional round 2, whenever Rodgers was still the quarterback.
Right.
And then below that is Penn State, West Virginia, but that's because I was live for 6 hours.
Jesus.
In September when there's that huge rain delay.
I do remember this. Actually, I do remember this.
Yeah, my dad and I, and shout out Joey Foster, great Mountaineer fan, got through that entire rain delay.
How the hell? What the hell did you guys talk about for that amount of
My
time?
dad and Joey's like he's got connections down at WVU, and he's a huge West Virginia fan.
Jeez.
And they just chatted about like random WVU stuff for like I left the stream at one point. I'm like, yeah, I'm just letting you guys chat. But
Jeez.
what else has gotten good views? Dodgers, Mets, NLCS, Packers, Cowboys, all the basic ones. The most joyous emotion I probably showed on stream is either probably the Phillies winning the NL pennant.
I don't think I was live for that one.
That was a fun one. What else was I live for that would get views? Marquette UConn did not go our way. Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, it's probably Brewers Phillies. I don't see anything. The saddest I probably was when the Packers lost in the playoffs. Because
well, the Eagles one, I was literally coming down my face.
Cole, what would the best stream of Packers Birds be?
That would be a good co-stream. I don't know. Could I co-stream from here?
If we pay money, I think we can. I think we can co-stream, which I'm fine. I've been thinking about getting StreamYard Premium anyway, so I'm fine paying. I don't know how much it is. They raise the prices every 2 days on here.
Now I'm trying to. Now I'm messing around with this.
Yeah, as we see Spencer Rattler throw. That one's deflected. 2nd and 10 here with 12:41 to go. But Ryan, I promised the people, especially Will and D, our Notre Dame fan, VCU alum down in Maryland. He was asking about prep basketball, and I said it's not going our way so far. Can you talk about the Vegas tournament a little bit and just kind of what you think going into this Louisiana game? Louisiana getting murdered by LaSalle.
I don't. I think on the 27th, the prep will dominate.
Yeah.
I think that within the PCL, the prep will be one of the better teams. I think the prep's better than LaSalle. I think they're right there with Goretti. I think they're right there with Judge. I think they're right there with those teams. I don't want to say the wrong thing because I obviously have connections with players. I guess you could say close knit, and I have and it's not. And I'm not saying anything right now. I'm not saying anything that I didn't that I wouldn't say to the guys' face. I told Olin after the first game against Emotep.
Yeah.
He asked me the day after, "What do you think about the team?" And I told him, "You guys got to get a big man.
Yeah,
you have to get a big man." If you look at the size in Pennsylvania, and especially the size you faced in that game, you are going to have a problem if you don't have a big man. And I told him that you guys got to do a better job of getting rebounds. And he understood. He was there. He understood what I was trying to tell him. But when you're looking at that Vegas tournament, rebounds were obviously a big issue in the first game. I think throughout the tournament, they did a better job of getting defensive rebounds. Offensive rebounds, you have a little bit of a ways to go.
Yeah.
But I think they did a very good job of getting steals, getting turnovers on the perimeter, making sure that the ball doesn't even get inside, so you're not going to give that opportunity, give teams second chance opportunities. But you face some really good guys. I know you face some guys ranked in Utah. What did we win? 1 or 2 games in that tournament?
We went 1-3.
1-3. So, I mean, at the end of the day, if we had somebody who was around 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", this would probably be one of the better teams. This would probably be one of the best teams in Pennsylvania. Not saying that they already are and are. But you're looking at our guards right now, and I definitely think they have the ability to compete within Pennsylvania. Are they my pick to win the state? No. That would definitely still go to Roman. Just because of what they've been doing over the past couple of years. But this is it's a damn good team. And I mean, I got to come up with a nickname for the core 4 in Jaren. Maybe the Fantastic Four. That movie's coming out
there you go.
in July. So I would say at the end of the day, if the prep can just start getting more rebounds, then they'll be just fine.
Yeah. And I think, like, you look at the freshman class, obviously, because I'm a freshman, so I know this. Like, you got a 6'5" kid and you got a 6'4" kid. It's just a question of, will they grow in the next couple of years? Like, you're going to have guys growing. It's just a question of, are they going to have that big man, as you said? And I think that's where they struggle. It's like, but you look at this month, you got a tough game at Holy Family against Roman, and then just 9 days after that, you have to go on the road to Archbishop Carroll, who's ranked higher in according to Philly Hoop Group, in their Volume 1 rankings. You got to go to Radnor for a Friday night game. Like, the month of January, it might be a tough month.
Right. I will probably be there for most of those games.
Yeah.
I will not be there on the 27th or the 30th, but I will be back on January 3rd and January 6th. So I'll be there. If anybody has any questions about prep basketball, I'll be ready to roll.
I'll be back on the 10th.
Back on the 10th. Okay, that
back
was like
on the 10th and back for Carroll, back for O'Hara, back for Carroll.
All right.
Because I mean they're in Dalco, so it's easy for me. But
right.
But overall, it's a little stop there. 11:44 to go.
This is our last chance. I mean, it's our last chance. These guys know it.
Yeah, as I think matters, and we see Cole asking the question: are they going to the Palestra? How many teams go to the Palestra? What rounds are played there?
I think it's the Final Four.
It's just okay. So
I don't know.
I think they're a top 4 team in the PCL.
Definitely, that 100%.
So it's like it's Judge, Roman, Carroll, and the prep. It seems like it.
I saw the clip last year of Roman winning at the buzzer.
Oh,
what a heartbreaker!
Yeah,
for the Wood fans.
Was it Wood that they beat? I forgot who they played.
Or it might have been Ryan. It was Ryan, maybe.
Oh yeah, it was Ryan. I was about to say I can't. Remember.
I get them. I obviously get them confused. Most people do.
Yeah. It's Humphrey and FL. Welcome into Sorgy Stories. We're talking about high school basketball on an NFL stream here.
No, not the Chiefs.
And Sam from Wisconsin. What's up, Sam? Go Pack, go.
How's it going?
But yeah, I think at this, and yeah, Packers are just dominating this one. Love 3rd and 12 here, 11 to go. After this drive, do you think about putting Malik Willis in?
Yeah, I mean the Saints are not coming back. I mean you're probably going to drive this down to around 7 minutes remaining, and the Saints, I assume they go 3 and out, maybe get a first down here and there. They'll probably be driven down to 5-4 minutes. There's no point in keeping in Love.
Yeah, and Jaden Reed, beautiful catch there from Love. Goes up, jumps up for one, gets it at midfield over Tyrann Mathieu. That's what Jordan Love does. And yeah, so I mean the Prep losing to Ryan last year on the buzzer beater. And then Roman winning the PCL. I remember the morning after hearing Bob Long's call. And yeah.
Harry Kane and Gavin Hendricks did a good stream as at the audio only at the PCL. I remember I was streaming that day and I was barely trying to listen in, and that was something.
Yeah, it was something. Like a poster. Sam, I have like Packer stuff like off screen. Like there's a Bart Starr thing. There's a picture from like some dinner my dad was at. It has like a picture of, like Willie Davis and Charles Woodson and a whole bunch of guys. And there's like a Curly Lambeau thing over there and a Packers lamp from like the 60s my dad has. But the only thing on screen is Brewers, and then you can like barely see like a picture of Jesus over there. Like half of it's in the screen. As Love is gonna throw first down, easy first down at Ontavian Wicks. Yeah, I got you, Sam. I have a green screen. I don't. It's expensive too. I got it for free, and I don't use it. But yeah, I was gonna. What do you think about like Prep Carroll? Like, how do you feel? How do you feel about that game? Because I know we have a little bit of a Carroll audience.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know much about the Carroll team. I don't really know much about the PCL this year. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. Same.
I would say the way you're talking about Carroll is that they seem like a decent team.
Yeah.
It sounds like they have a couple of guys. I would say that the Prep, while not unbeatable, still definitely a very good team. I'd say within the PCL, I'd say a 700, win team, 0.700 win percentage around there. I mean, that's what I would put as the Prep ceiling at the current moment in time. I would say the Prep probably wins. I mean, I know I'm a little biased here about this one.
Yeah. I just asked my Carroll guy to hop in the chat and give us some expertise on them.
I got you, because I'm not too familiar.
Yeah, I know they're battling injury. I don't know much specific. I just know that they but I mean everyone's gonna battle the injury bug.
I'm doing some research on Devin, which I got to do.
My dad did the second quarter, Sam. We had the football expert on for the first, my dad for the second, and then I did halftime in the third myself. I just ran through like NBA and NHL scores for halftime. Nothing much else to talk about, but 7:35 to go. Packers back on the field. Looks like it's still Jordan Love out there. We'll see how long that lasts. But yeah, I feel like the Prep can for sure make it to the Palestra as the Love is gonna throw passing complete. But talk about for like our audience, because I said I also promised a little bit of Prep football. This squad this year, and I guess going into next year, do we know anything about their schedule next year? Is it
nothing
also
yet?
TBD? And do you think how big of a game do you think is played in non-conference? Like, do you think we get like a St. Francis Academy or like another big East Coast school on the schedule?
I know a couple of things that I can't say.
Fair.
I know a few things. I have everybody. People know I have my connections within the program.
Yeah.
There are obviously a lot of things I'm not allowed to tell.
Exactly.
But I do know where we are talking and where we can possibly go.
Yeah.
It is I will say, big game that I don't think many people are expecting. Do I think we get the game? Probably not. The game that we're looking for, I don't think we get.
Okay.
But I do think that we could maybe see, a game like St. Francis, maybe one of those East Coast games. But
yeah, I was talking about Mater Dei and Milton, Georgia earlier.
Yeah.
I was talking about Modern Day being the national champions according to Max Preps. And I
Right.
was saying some of that. Okay, back to Carroll basketball. Nick, can you tell us about Carroll and if they're going to beat Prep? Thank you.
I'll talk about prep football in a bit when we're done with this.
Yeah, but while we wait for Nick's response, Nick, I gave a shout out to your boy Mike, who is traveling. By Mike Live on Twitter. Check him out. Ryan, he went to Carroll, or not Carroll. He went to LaSalle, Louisiana, and now he's over at Egan.
Okay.
For a little, Luca Foster.
Is my microphone picking like everything up? Like, can you?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I can't hear. I can hear your voice. That's all I can hear.
Oh, so you can't hear like the extra stuff behind it?
No, it's really like it's well isolated.
Oh, damn! I thought you could hear like everything.
No.
Because like there's like stuff I'm moving around and like I can hear it.
Can you get into detail, Nick, of why you will beat us? We don't have a big man. I told Nick the other night about our lack of big man. But yeah, for prep football, I mean, so next year we have no Ian. Yeah, I said I was like, I know you guys are battling injury, but I forgot who it was. Okay, you have a big man. But yeah, so I think it's like I was talking to the football expert earlier about this off camera before the stream, and I was talking about how we still have, we still have the best linebacker in the state. We have the best quarterback in the state, I'd say, and Charlie Folk, unless you wanted to say Sidbar's better. And then Jed Harrison comes back, Kai Billups comes back, Messiah Acree comes back, Alex Haskell comes back. I almost said Alex High School, but Haskell comes back, and I had to throw that.
I'm gonna have him on my show, and we're gonna get this all settled out because that's gonna be his official nickname. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, as we see, Owen Chamberlain committed to the grind. St. Peak has been hurt, but yeah, Drew Frey is tall. Colton Anderson, yeah, shout out Colton. I know Coach Roken was talking a lot about him when in my interview with him, but like next year is the expectation for Pete?
Yes, 100%. I'm looking at the prep right now. I'm looking at Charlie, who I have a lot of confidence in. I've talked to Charlie before. I think I have a lot of confidence in him. I have a lot of confidence in the new offensive line. Obviously, I'm gonna be a little biased because some of those guys gonna be rolling into the spots are my friends. I'm looking at Gabe Sabai, who's gonna roll into maybe that right or left tackle spot. I'm looking at Dave Contreras. I'm looking at Caden Oler, and then obviously Sean Molly and Namum, who was on my show, and that episode will be released soon. But yeah, I think the offensive line is going to fit in real well. Receiving wise, I'm not sure where that is going to be. Where that's going to be.
Jet, and then you got Austin Frisbee.
Jet, I mean, Frizz is a very, very talented guy.
Austin's my guy. I sit next to him in Spanish.
Right.
That's my guy.
Daryl, who I have a lot of confidence in. Devin Berger. These guys are all sophomores. I'm not sure about any freshmen ready to come up.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure about that. I'm looking on the defensive end. I'm a big fan of Messiah.
For sure.
We've had some conversations. Samaj Hill is obviously going into his senior year. You're looking at Brandon Ross, who is one of the fastest guys in the school in St. Joe's Prep. Mason Talley will be back. And then at defensive line, you're coming back with a lot of guys. You're bringing back Colton Anderson. You're bringing back Jay Nitz. And then your linebackers. I mean, John, listen, I'm very biased for my man John Boggs. Cole knows. I'm very biased for my man John Boggs, but he is going to be one of the best players for the prep next year. And I don't think that anybody's talking about it. He is going to be one of the best players for the prep. and everybody is going to see how great he is. And then I'm looking at freshmen right now. I'm looking at my man, Drew Kern. He's going to step up. I would say probably on the defensive end. So you got some rising freshmen ready to come up to varsity and making some immediate impact. You saw some sophomores this year make an impact.
Sophomore class made a huge impact this year.
They did. I mean, you're looking at Lockley. I forgot to mention him.
Yeah.
Lockley's going to be back. Who can play strong safety or linebacker. So yeah, you're looking at the prep right now, and I think that the expectation is a four-peat. I don't know who they're going to pull in, who might be a freshman on varsity next year. I don't know anything about that. I'm going to have to.
Yeah. Darisol comes back.
Yeah, Darisol will be there, but Billups will be number one. I don't know about anybody who's obviously there's people who we're waiting to see applications come in for who's going to be going to the prep, who's not. So we have to see who's going to go to the prep and who might be a freshman on varsity. I don't know about that. I'd have to ask around. But I'm looking right now at the prep, and honestly, if you're LaSalle, I would have to say that this is probably your best year to possibly beat the prep, because you have Sid War as a senior, you have Joey O'Brien as a senior, and honestly, LaSalle is probably the prep's biggest competition, probably their biggest threat, and this is probably one of LaSalle's last chances to beat the prep, because with Charlie going to be becoming an upperclassman, with Jet going to be an upperclassman after next season. Charlie being a senior, I guess you could say, and probably in the peak of his powers. Then with Jet being an upperclassman and already as an underclassman, just as a freshman, he has been an absolute dominator. And then you're looking at the other guys. There were 5 freshmen on varsity in my freshman year. So those guys are going to be upperclassmen. So a lot of prep guys are going to be at the peak of their powers. And then you're looking at this the freshman class currently that'll be sophomores, and there are a couple guys as sophomores that probably could start even next season. So I'm looking at them at the current moment in time, and you got to if you're LaSalle, you got to win next year. It's now or never. But I'm looking at the prep, and I'm saying you're going to go for a 4P. There's no doubt in my mind that that'll happen, just based off the way our entire team is still filled out. I'd say the only question mark right now, possibly receiver. You don't really know who's going to be number 2, who's going to be number 3, and all that. But everything else is pretty much filled out, in my opinion.
And I mean, you didn't even hit on Kai Billups, who's the star of the team this year, and
right.
And I mean, is he going to break Swift's rushing record? Like, it's possible. And he's an absolute beast himself, and it's just like I don't see anyone from the Whippeal, and like who's going to be able to do much. And yeah, Joey O'Brien's great, and Sid Warsher, he's going to go to Syracuse. He'll have a good a nice time there. Not going to be Kyle McCord.
Might possibly go to Syracuse. We don't know yet, but
yeah, I'm saying like that's his best offer. That's where if I had to make a guess, that's where
that also is my guess.
Yeah, that's where I'm throwing it out there based off of what he said about Syracuse.
I've heard some updates on Joey O'Brien that I don't know if I can share yet.
Is it a Big Ten school? That's all I'm gonna ask.
No, not about his commitment. About position wise, where he might be playing.
Because I mean,
on the sides of the field
for LaSalle or in college.
In college.
Okay, because I mean, part of me thinks he's going to be the next Travis Hunter, and part of me thinks he's going to go one position specific.
Me too, honestly.
Yeah, and yeah, let me run through all of our comments here. Nick says Nasir Rawls is a beast, Munir Gray, and then Luca Foster's as well. For Carroll Hoops, and yeah, this is a prep guy. Ryan Sullivan, class of 27, in the building. And we see Kobe Townsend, Andre Watson, who I guess are in.
Andre's a beast.
Quick. Who's the quarterback that we're getting in? I know there's some
Kobe Towns.
Is that Kobe Towns?
He's a class of 2029 freshman. He's
from LaSalle area, correct? Like that general area.
He is a big dude who can move.
Okay.
And he's gonna have to start as a junior. I
Yeah.
assume he play. I assume he. I don't know. I assume he plays with varsity, goes to varsity, but next year, unless he wants to start on freshman, as Cole's put in all that in there.
Yeah.
I assume if he wants to play, then he probably would play freshman because they're not going to play they're not going to sit down Charlie. It's just
Yeah.
not going to happen.
Which they shouldn't. Charlie's.
No, definitely Charlie's incredible. So if he wants to play, I would say he plays on freshman, and then his sophomore year he can play behind Charlie for a season, and then as a junior he can start. I mean, this is kind of you could take the John Boggs route, if you will, who had to play 2 years on sitting behind great linebackers in Saka and Cam Smith, so he could take that route and not play on freshman and just play on varsity and just wait a couple of years, or he can play on freshman, and then sit as a sophomore and then start as a junior.
Yeah, Malik Willis now in the game for Green Bay, finally getting some action. One of the best backup QBs in the league.
Definitely, what are they, like 4-0 when he's in there?
Yeah, he can lead the team to wins and yeah, because I remember after the LaSalle game, I went to a tiny little pizza shop and there are a couple kids. They seemed to be they were like 8th graders, I would say, and they were I could tell based off of their quietness once prep fans walked in. They were LaSalle fans, and they were telling me about Kobe Towns, and they're like, yeah, he's starting next year. I'm like, no, he's not, but okay. But they said he was a beast. That's the first time I heard of him, and it seems like he's going to be. I mean, you'll get him and Jet. And Nick talking about Carroll football. Carroll in the midst of a search for a new head coach on the football side right now. I mean, who really, if we're being honest, Ryan, who really pays attention to the blue division now? I mean,
when it comes to football, I can talk crap to anybody who I want to. When it comes to basketball, I gotta fight my way through a debate a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. But for the red division, I mean, we're talking Prep, LaSalle, Bonner, O'Hara, Roman. I mean, that's a like not as much O'Hara, but for the other four, I mean, it's a loaded division.
You wouldn't believe how many bones I had to pick with people after the Prep beat LaSalle. How many receipts I had. Yeah. I'm not going to start beefs on this stream here. I'll do that on my own time. I mean,
you got 4 people watching, so
I'll do that on my own time. All right, I already dealt with that. Yeah. Nobody beats the Prep.
Nick. Yeah, let me know. Nick was filling me in a little bit on the quarterback situation the other night. Over Carroll, but I'm trying to think who is in PCL football standings. Who else is in?
I wouldn't say I'm our Prep insider, but I'm a Prep insider that can't say anything.
Judge was the last team I was missing. As Jaden Reed gets in the end zone, so that's another touchdown for the Packers.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, when we play Carroll, I think it'll be good. I'm also going to do my research. I'm obviously more knowledgeable when it comes to. Well, obviously, I'm going to be more knowledgeable now about football when it comes to the Prep because I did it for how many months, but I'm getting into my basketball form. Don't worry. I did one game, and Emotep was that they were a beast to watch. So that Zion Green was something special.
Yeah, and I mean, and I think it's like for when it comes to as we see a first and goal. Oh, they called back the touchdown. Okay, but. Like when it comes to basketball, it's like I mean I remember I wasn't able to really get my footing in football in knowing about our team until probably the Roman game. I'd say that O'Hara like it because it takes a while to learn about.
Oh yeah, it does.
And you got to do the same thing now for basketball and then in the spring for baseball and lacrosse. And it's like that's why I'm avoiding hockey like the plague. I'm like I don't want to have to learn a whole new sport. when it comes to commentating on top of when you got two teams.
I don't know anything about hockey, so you're not.
Yeah,
gonna
like
get me there.
I've done play-by-play of it on here, but it was also the Stanley Cup Finals Game 7, and I had watched the entire like playoffs for the most part, so I knew my guys when it came to that. But that's true, Cole. But like you still gotta be able to do know your stuff.
Research is tough, though.
Yeah, exactly. Bonner is good for 4A and found the old broadcasting equipment for football, including a Panasonic camera. So also, Ryan, how about I talked about this earlier, but how about Mr. Bill Avington, class of '90, getting on the scoreboard at the Sixers game tonight?
Really?
Yeah, Andrew Zimmerman, Drew C pics on Instagram sent me a picture of Mr. Avington getting on. He was the cheerleaders were like giving him some
Oh yeah,
swag.
Mr. Avington.
They were giving him some swag as Wilson runs into the end zone.
There you go, Mr. I did not know this. This is breaking news to me.
I know.
I did not know. Maybe I'll see something on Instagram that'll. That's cool. I did not know that. But
We
that's
got to
fun.
ask our guy Dom Camp because he was.
Oh
there.
yeah, he was there. Camp was there.
Yeah,
That's fun. Actually, I did not know that. Camp found the adapter. Thank God.
when did he find that?
Found it like a day ago. He texted me asking if this was asking if it was mine, and I was like, "Where the hell did you find that at?"
Yeah.
And he found the adapter. I was like, "I really hope Mr. Burns didn't buy a new one because we got our old. He probably did, and now I'm gonna feel guilty."
Yeah.
We did a podcast today. Cole and I did one on my YouTube channel at Ryan the Great. It was a pretty good show, about an hour.
Nice. I'll have to go back and watch it.
Appreciate that.
But we're gonna do some baseball, Cole. We'll get on some baseball.
We'll do baseball eventually.
Nothing better. I mean,
streams.
Yeah. I do MLB on here. And
Right.
baseball is hard to call alone. It's easy to call when you have a color guy.
That's true.
Like
last year
baseball,
I did last year with Shulk, and it was still hard to do.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
to be honest, I didn't know much about the team. Like, at
Yeah,
all.
that's the thing.
So I
It's
didn't
hard to
really
find
know,
info for baseball.
I was so hard. Yeah, it was really hard. We had to have like a spreadsheet and like have guys like fill in, like answer questions, just so we had something to talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's hard to talk. Like football, basketball, like I can pull something, out of my mouth for a couple minutes.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Ryan.
I mean, you remember from the LaSalle game, I could just find something to ask you on the halftime show from just out of off the top of my head.
Yeah, that's the thing about like the LaSalle, and I'm trying to think if I got on there before that. I don't think I did. But for that first one, I just gave the most generic answers because I didn't know what I was talking about. So I just gave like the most basic, simple football answers. But for high school, you can do that if you have to.
Yeah.
Like it's you don't have to be extremely insightful if you don't know much. It sucks when you don't, but broadcast soccer,
God forbid.
I mean that's Jake Bischoff and right there on the PCL quarterfinals against Ryan. That was a heartbreaker.
I know absolutely nothing about soccer.
I was you weren't there. It was what weekend was that? Was that the weekend of? We had a Saturday game.
Yeah.
We had a Saturday football game, and it was a Friday night Prep versus Ryan soccer game. We lost in extra PKs.
Yeah, I wish I knew something about soccer, but
I played it for 5 years, so I knew enough to do a halftime show.
I coached a team, but all I really knew, all I really knew I didn't know anything about the X's and O's. I pretty much knew how to tell guys how to move their feet.
Yeah.
And that was about I knew footwork drills, and that's about it.
Yeah. And Nick's saying we have the best baseball field in the PCL, but the worst team.
That's
This is
tough.
the college field. Where do you play? Up at Plymouth. Villanova does have a nice underrated stadium up at Villanova up in Plymouth Meeting.
Football field? Is that what you're talking about?
No, Villanova's baseball field.
Okay, 'cause I was at their football field like 2-3 years ago.
I was at their football field for Marquette Nova lacrosse.
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's all right.
And yeah, it was nice. Okay, Nick says it's on campus. Okay.
So Cole, how about some how we think about Villanova baseball?
Messi, Ronaldo. Yeah, Messi has the World Cup, so Messi.
I guess I'd have to say Messi. I don't know. I feel like even with the recency bias, you probably would have to say Messi because
Yeah. Oh, nice.
I don't know any accomplishment that Ronaldo has in his career.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Exactly.
also, there's so many like leagues and like I don't understand like the league hopping and all that. Like Messi's in the MLS where they find these guys off the streets. You know, these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I could compete with some of those guys. I mean, those
Yeah,
guys are a bunch of bums.
I mean, I got a buddy. Shout out Sam knows him. Axel the Robles over at Marquette High. Our brother school up back in Milwaukee, and their freshman team went undefeated this year, and state champs. And Axel is I think he's bound for the MLS. I've seen this kid. My dad from like when he was 5 called him Mini Pele.
all right.
So shout out Axel.
I mean,
Villanova's great.
the MLS is not non-competitive. I think the
Yeah.
one MLS game the one MLS game I watched is when the Union lost to that LA team.
LAFC, Gareth
Yeah,
Bale.
a few years ago.
Yeah, that was a heartbreaker. Same way as the Phillies.
It's terrible.
See, Cole. Yeah, I went to. What game did I go to last year? Villanova St. Bonnie's. I want to say
Ooh, okay.
is the game I caught last year when I went to 4 games in one day. But this year, hopefully, stepping it up, getting to 5 in one day. For not for myself because it's torture for myself, but for the content, it's fun. Driving around Metro Philly and even into Baltimore, it's a rough. It can be rough. Cheering for LAFC. Well, I gotta give a shout out to the Union. Kevin Sullivan. I have people who know him, and I also fun fact. Kevin's dad used to teach at the prep.
Yeah, because his grandmother, Miss Sullivan, was a teacher as well who retired.
I did not know that.
year.
I only knew about his dad.
And every damn teacher last year would ask me if I was related. I might as well have just wore a shirt saying no, I'm not related.
Exactly. I'm trying to think who. There's a guy named Jim Sorgi who was like a quarterback for the Colts, and my dad figured out that they're like my dad interviewed him when he was with the Badgers, and they're like very, very distant cousins. Yeah, of course, Axel and Ronaldo. But yeah, so they're very, very distant cousins.
Oh wow.
Somehow. Quinn went to a prep camp. Shaq Quinn, he doesn't get enough love. He's a good player. But yeah, Sullivans are good people. And
oh yeah.
What else? I'm trying to think.
Sullivans are good people.
Yeah, I mean, especially this one on screen. The prep's finest.
See, the best thing about being friends with Cole is that I can help Villanova's baseball program a little bit more. You know what I mean? Cole, because I'm just going to be telling Cole to go to Villanova for the next couple of years. But then again, I probably won't even go to Villanova myself, so you know.
I'm more of a when it comes to being in the city, I'm more of a St. Joe's guy. When we're talking, just because the Jesuits, that's the only reason I said that.
I don't know where I'll go. So I gotta look this summer, I guess.
If I'm being honest, I'm trying to get out of the Philly and go back home to Milwaukee and
Really?
Yeah, go back to the old stomping grounds of Marquette, ring out of Hoya.
I don't know. I might go to Seton Hall.
You got to go to Syracuse. That's where you got to go to.
That's what I said, but then I heard with Seton Hall, you get on the air like immediately.
That's true. Or like what's his name? John Anderson from Sports Center. He's over at Missouri now. So he's a professor in Missouri.
I don't know what I want to go. I don't know if I want to go to Missouri. I don't know what the hell's in there.
Columbia, like tiny little college town.
Give me a goddamn break.
All right, Sam. I'll next time in Milwaukee. before the game's over, Ryan, do you watch Jet Lag the Game on YouTube?
I do not.
You gotta check them out. They're very entertaining.
I will
They're
check
currently
this out.
playing.
I have a bucket list of things to watch. I just finished the Fantastic Four films.
Nice. They're it's three guys, three different content creators, and they're playing is it tag or hide and seek? One of the two across the country of Japan.
Okay, interesting.
And yeah, it's fun.
I have a bucket list of things I gotta watch. I just finished Fantastic Four. I gotta do. And then now I gotta go to Star Wars. I gotta watch Andor. I gotta watch, and then I gotta watch Skeleton Crew. So
Okay.
I got a bucket list of things I gotta watch. I gotta catch up for all that I missed, and then there's probably a bunch of documentaries,
Yeah.
sports documentaries, and all that. So I got a lot to watch. I don't know if I'm gonna finish it all in, but we're gonna try. And then I'm not doing work this week. I'll start research next week. So forget the.
Hey, next week it's starting to get ready for midterms too.
Kill me. That I hated that.
Okay, Nick. Okay, bud. Okay.
And now the Packers have won.
Almost. I'm at 118 still.
All right, I'm at the end of the game.
I'm still watching this.
Next time we'll get a little more
Sync in the TVs up.
Yeah, we'll sync. We'll get
When it's a Fox, CBS, or NBC game, I use the over the air feed, so I'm like ahead of literally anyone else. But when it's ESPN or ABC, I'm behind.
Okay.
Because 6 ABC is so stupid. They're the only network that doesn't have like the bandwidth on there to connect to anywhere outside of the city.
I got you.
Where is 6 ABC? They're up by St. Just U, if I'm correct. They're up on like Highway 1.
I've been like near their like their headquarters. I know a couple people at 6 ABC.
Nice. I'm trying to think. We know ABC Pittsburgh up over there.
That
with
is
Kevin
true.
Storer.
Andrew
Yeah,
Stocky.
Not Kevin Stocky.
What a
Andrew
dog.
Stocky, shout out. It's the Packers are going to kneel that one down. I have a feeling we're going to be talking to him again next year.
You really think so?
I don't know if it's going to be about PCC, but about someone from the Whippeal.
Possibly.
Whether it be PCC or North Allegheny or another one of those.
Allegheny's good. I don't know. I think.
Yeah,
I mean, based off of what we saw from the prep game, Pittsburgh Central Catholic had no chance. I don't think the West can compete with the East. I'll be honest with you.
They just
Philadelphia has like some of the best players in the state.
Yeah.
Philadelphia probably has the best players in the state, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Oh, Mikey comes in at the last second. What's up, Mikey? Ben is in the lead. Yes, he is. Okay, Mikey. Well, I'm glad you caught the last 22 seconds. That's going to be the Packers. We'll head to the playoffs. Final of 34-0. Packers are dancing once again. Matt LaFleur getting closer and closer to tying Vince Lombardi for best win percentage. For a Packers head coach, getting up there. Now all he needs is a whole bunch of rings, to compete. But yeah, so we'll see Santa Kelsey on the post game on ESPN. But that'll do it for us. Ryan, thank you for joining. Thank you to my dad for joining. Thank you to Football Expert for joining. Thank you to everyone in the comments. Ryan, tell everyone where to find you.
On Ryan the Great, Al on YouTube at Ryan the Great RTG. I'm on X. Same thing at Ryan the Great RTG. You can find me there. Those are the two main platforms I post on. I do on my YouTube channel. I do pretty much everything all sports. I also include a bit of MMA, boxing, and all that. If you guys are interested in that, pretty much all sports. Looking at baseball, football, basketball. Obviously, in football season, I talk about the Eagles. If you guys are in the Philadelphia area, I do top 5 NFL teams every week. And the next, I really just post about anything, to be honest with you. So, yeah, you find me on there. Sorgy, you ever need me, I'm here.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. And, of course, you can find us. Also, find them on Committed to the Grind and the CR.
Oh, yeah, WSJP. You'll see me probably on some basketball broadcasts at WSJP on Instagram or at SJP Broadcasting on Instagram. WSJP on YouTube. Same thing, SJP Broadcasting on X. You see me on there. Sorgi and I did the Emotep game.
Most viewed stream in the history.
Yeah, most viewed stream in WSJP history. And yeah, you find me CR7 podcasts every week. Me and Cole Kuhn, both class 2027. We do a podcast every week. Then we do Committed to the Grind where we interview players. So yeah, appreciate Sorgi letting me on, and I will definitely come back on again. This was fun. I loved it. I haven't streamed in a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Good to have you on, folks. We will see you. I'll for sure see you soon. Probably New Year's ish. With the great bowl games coming up. But folks, have a Merry Christmas. Have a happy holidays. We will see you next time. Go Pack Go and go Birds, because why not?